Okay, so on to this week's Street Talk. We are. I thought it was a so-so. This week's Corrie, there were some stories that I was really into, and still some stories that left me feeling a little bit cold. So it was a bit of a mixed bag this week.
Is that
but when
not
it was
just normal?
When it was good, it was good. I don't know. Sometimes you get full-on great weeks, and sometimes it's all a bit. Ugh. But the bits that I really enjoyed this week really either warmed my cockles or had me on the edge of my seat. But before we get on to that, a little bit of clickbait for you for this week's Coronation Street. We've got a couple from the Manchester Evening News. Thank you very much to Jonathan for sending us our clickbait. Gemma, first one. Coronation Street fans tell Christina Boyd, watch your back, as George Shuttleworth plan sussed.
Watch your back, Christina.
Christina, watch your back. Why does Christina need to watch her back?
Because George wants to ask her out.
No. It's actually it's not George who Christina needs to watch her back about.
Watch your back, Glenda.
Glenda's on the
out
case.
to get you.
That's it. That's exactly it. Glenda's on the case. She thinks that she's making a bit of an enemy.
No good.
Yeah, basically, this is saying that Christina's making an enemy of Glenda, so she better watch her back there. What's this George Shuttleworth plan sussed?
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, this has been written in a bit of a tricky way.
Wanting to ask her out?
No, well, this is actually, the way that this headline has been written makes you think that George has got a plan, but this is actually Christina's plan regarding George.
Oh.
Yeah?
She wants to date him, or like she's going to fleece him for money.
That's exactly it, yeah. So people are saying that Christina are going to be fleecing George.
I'm really
Glenda's
worried
on the
about
case,
this.
so Christina needs to watch her back. I really, really don't think so. I think we're too far into it at this point. This story's been going a good, 2 months?
Very conveniently now homeless again, isn't she? And I'll stay with you. You know what I mean?
I think that even Christina's long game isn't this good.
I think she's...
No, I think that this, especially, we've talked on the podcast recently about the fact that it seems like she's going to be on the programme for long enough. One of the articles last week, I think it was, pretty much confirmed that she's here for the long term now. I don't think she's going to be here as a villain. And as much as I enjoyed her as a villain, she was a great antagonist in the Jenny leaving story and Daisy's leaving story as well. I think that we're kind of seeing her open herself up and seeing the true Christina, etc, etc, etc. I think that her feelings for George are 100% genuine. No one's going to be getting down on their knees and scrubbing that many urns or whatever it is she gets up to.
Scrubbing urns.
Just to get a bit of cash. I don't think so.
Do you want my prediction?
Yeah.
I think that she is scamming him, but she will realise that she really likes him and she couldn't do that.
Do you really think so?
Yeah, I do, because I just think she's up to something.
I really, really do. But this is what I say about Becky Swain, isn't it? And everyone's telling me how gullible I am. I know
you're not
Becky
gullible.
Swain.
You're illiterate. You're illiterate of the story.
I know that Becky Swain is the villain here.
Well, why are you saying you didn't know then?
Because I'm still saying that I'm sympathising with Becky in some way. But anyway, I don't think Christina's fleecing George. I thought there's lovely stuff there. Yeah, I was a bit disappointed we didn't get any of it in tonight's episode, to be honest.
Somebody clean that Undertaker's as much as Christina's cleaning it at the moment.
No, I mean, she's literally, every episode that she's in it, she's there with a marigold, isn't she? And a can of Mr. Sheen.
She can come round here, because
Who did it before?
Exactly.
Is it just that she needs lots of cleaning at the moment because it's got years worth of dust and grime that have just been caked there because they've not had a cleaner?
I tell you what she needs to do. She needs to get on that clean talk.
What's that?
She go on TikTok and watch the sped up people cleaning a room. It doesn't take them weeks.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Where they do a video like, watch me clean this hoarder's house, and then they do it in 5 seconds. Okay. And you're like, that's easy. I could do that.
I think that they can only keep this going for so long. I think that Christina is going to surely at some point have to get a job, a proper job, isn't she? I know I'm much preferring her for sort of
being a
swooshing
cleaner
around the street, being fabulous, and then occasionally doing a bit of a cleaner. I know it's a real job, but she's doing it seemingly out of the goodness of her own heart at the moment.
She's not getting paid.
Is she gonna go all Kim Woodburn and set up a proper cleaning business on the street?
She could be.
She could, couldn't she? Someone's got to be giving this place bottomings now that Gail's sunning herself in south of France. Okay, next up, also from the Manchester Evening News, Coronation Street fans work out Becky Swain lie amid plot holes demand. What is going on here?
God.
What is Becky Swain?
Some of these are just obvious, aren't they?
It's not too difficult this week.
This is her lying that she's evil and she's lying she's not evil. Like she's trying to snatch her family back off of Carla.
Mm-hmm.
What's she lying about? She's lying about
according to this article, which as always is just plucked out of Facebook groups. This is saying fans are saying that Becky actually was going out with somebody in Spain, and the only reason that she's come back to Weatherfield is that she's been kicked out by her partner, and she's like, well, I only one thing to... Do you think there's any... I hadn't really considered that before I saw this article. Do you believe that? Has Becky had somebody else on the go? Some little senorita over there?
I don't care. I really don't care. Who cares?
Me? I care a lot about this storyline.
I suppose it would make her a cheat, wouldn't it? Because she knew that she was not dead.
Clearly and obviously there's something very dodgy going on with Becky here that will be revealed to us at some point in the future. But I think she should
just enjoy her life. And when you're dead, this is when you start to enjoy life.
I do wonder whether there was ever... 4 years is a long time to go, isn't it? To just sit there pining on your alive wife's Send PX account.
I think it sounds
so
brilliant.
She might have had a bit of a dalliance over there, but
4 years.
I don't think that there's anything bigger than that.
By yourself, it sounds great.
Don't leave me alone for 4 years.
Oh, bliss.
Think how many boilers will have exploded in the house during that time, I'll tell you what. Okay, next up we got something from the Express. Coronation Street fans make same plea as doomed character needs to go.
Theo?
No.
Not that story at all?
No.
Is it somebody that's unpopular?
Yes.
That's a bit rude then, isn't it?
Who needs to go, Gemma, according to Coronation Street fans?
I can see the URL.
I know, I just realised the URL that I've pasted here does give it away. It's Becky Swain.
It says coronation-street-fans-make-same-plea Becky-Swain.
Yeah. I don't want Becky to go. Come on. She's providing an awful lot of entertainment.
She's got a shelf life.
She's got a shelf life. I'm not denying that. She's not going to be here in 6 months. So let's enjoy her while we've still got her, causing utter chaos, both in the show and online. I'm just enjoying it all. I thought Monday's episode, the scenes with her on the sofa with Lisa, getting all close to each other, because that was the picture that leaked a few weeks ago, wasn't it? And I'm sitting there thinking, Lisa, what on earth are you doing? But I'm also just gleefully going, oh, this is really juicy stuff.
You're a goblin.
I'm totally gobbling in this. You're absolutely right. Metro, last one, and then we'll get on to the street talk properly. Fans stunned. This was a Michael Adams article.
I knew this one.
Yeah. Fans stunned to learn Alison King dated major Coronation Street star for 5 years.
Is this that Denis?
What?
Is this... What's his face?
Yeah, well, you've got to name the character and actor, Gemma, to get a point in this.
I don't care about points. It was the guy who played Des... Barnes.
Yes, it was the guy who played Des
and
Barnes.
His name was
Phil Middlemiss.
Yes.
So fans have uncovered. I think this was off of Reddit. And
I sent you this.
You did. I know.
Ages ago, because somebody put it on Twitter. The original news article.
What was it? News of the World or something from 1995, I'm going to say.
So
Phil Middlemiss, who played Des Barnes.
Literature, that is.
Yeah, once dated Alison King. And it's very ironic because obviously he lived at number 6 as well. He died at... Well, no, he didn't die at number 6, but he got clonked on the head at number 6 and then died. And all these years later, his ex-partner is now living it up. Do you remember much about that article, what it was saying?
Yeah, I do.
Go on, then.
It was quite the article.
Do you want to go on, then?
What? I don't. I think it's gossip.
It's fine. It's 30 years ago, gossip.
I was scandalised.
Look, you got the listeners on tenterhooks.
There was an age gap. He's got this reputation as being a player.
Oh yeah, he's been a bit of a William Roach, hasn't he?
He's saying he slept with 100 women or something like that.
Oh, actually, William Roach is saying only 100.
She was in her 20s, and she was working in a surf shop in Devon, where they met, and then they met at a bar. And he's like completely besotted with her all the way through this interview, and she's really is. She's just like, yeah. And then there's all these raunchy photos.
Well, yeah, there's a bit of a photo shoot there, isn't there?
She's crawling around in one of them, isn't she?
Yeah, I think there is. Anyway, it
was a different time.
Quite an interesting article. It's funny to think because my family used to get News of the World.
Oh,
I know.
What, are you kidding me?
I know.
Who wanted that?
Well, obviously, my dad wanted the News of the World.
I don't know what's in it. Was that the rude one?
It might have had a boob or two. I don't know.
I think that's disgusting.
Anyway, but it wasn't the sport.
They're all disgusting, honestly. It's a sad indictment on the culture of this country. I don't even think it's funny.
Anyway, so we used to get the news of the world, so I probably read that article, being the young Coronation Street fan that I was,
I would not have let my children look at that.
Well,
I'm sorry, I'm a prude, but I think that's foul.
Well, there we go.
Genuinely.
Sorry for that. Anyway, look, that is the end of our clickbait for this week.
5 years, though. That's pretty good going, isn't it? 5 years.
I know, it is pretty good going.
It wasn't just a flash in the pan.
It wasn't. I wonder if they're still in touch. Don't know what Phil Middlemiss is up to these days. I know he did that Celebrity Come Dine with me quite a while ago, the Coronation Street special one, but who knows? Who cares?
I want to watch that again.
Let's get on with talking about this week's Coronation Street at last. We're starting off with the Undertaker under the thumb story because I absolutely love this week, but I feel guilty about saying it because it's obviously very terrible for Todd, everything that he's going through. But I am 100% gripped by this. This is the best thing about Coronation Street at the moment, says I. What says you? We don't have any experience with this, so it doesn't hit home in the same way it does for other people. No.
But it is incredibly hard to pull your eyes away from.
Yes, nicely and very tactfully put. Considering, as I say, I'm sure I've said it before, very slow burn story, and it's felt, months ago, will this ever get good? Well, I say it has got good, and I've got a feeling that it's still got a lot of life in it. It doesn't feel like it's anywhere near the end game yet, does it?
No, unfortunately not.
I mean, we've seen it with Jeff and Yasmin, where there are obvious parallels. Yeah, I'm sure there will be. I mean, are we going to have an EastEnders gravy pouring incident there?
I thought you were going to have an EastEnders crying in the dark eating dog food incident.
Maybe a bit of all that. But I'm finding it very entertaining, but I totally get that this is going to be very triggering for some people and they're not going to enjoy watching it at all, and they are shaking their fists at Theo. But I'm glad that there's a story there that I'm really getting into. So we'll start off with that one. Similarly, the Beck from the Dead story is still ticking along very nicely.
Would you like it if a twist was revealed and she was dead all along and she's just a ghost, like in Sixth Sense?
Don't be so silly. I know it's Halloween coming up next week, Gemma, but don't be ridiculous. So it's still it's very interesting about how these dodgy relationships, both in same-sex relationships, are very like running in parallel to each other, and you got the Todd and Theo that's very kind of physical and angry and explosive, and then you got the Beck from the Dead story where, I mean, especially this week, you got the couple just schmoozing up to each other on the sofa, and it's very dialogue. Yeah, it's manipulative. It's very dialogue heavy. You got the Lisa and Becky on the sofa. You got that lovely scene with Lisa and Roy in the cafe. So yeah, they're two sides of the same coin, really, these stories, and finding them both strangely gripping.
Being manipulated by a partner or an ex-partner.
Yeah. Up next, we have got the Asha storyline. Asha crashes. I've written down here, "Do not divulge," because he has been divulging a little bit too much.
He needs to shut up. He's like he's taking some kind of truth serum or something.
But it kind of is, isn't it?
It's like
my daughter's tried to kill herself.
It's like, what's that Jim Carrey movie?
Yeah, Liar Liar.
Yeah, it's like that, but if his kid tried to kill themselves.
Yeah.
It wasn't funny.
This is partly why I think I'm not loving this storyline too much. I'm just saying, Dev, just shut up, don't be silly.
It's not Everyone's even like doing it came up in conversation. He just blurts it out.
I know, despite the numerous times Ash is telling him, please, I don't want anyone else to know about it. He's just announcing it. And I'm going, would he really do that? Come on, Dev, shut up now. And then you got Bernie being a plonker, doing a vigilante act in the bistro. There's too many things in this story that just aren't sitting right enough with me. And it's detracting from my enjoyment of it. Plus, there's the fact that I'm thinking, it's another issue storyline as well, so it's not working for me, and it's gutting because I love the Alahans. We've got the Boy George story next, which I'm loving. Great stuff there. That was the comic relief of the week, and then we had a little bit more of the Abby story and some more of Hope and her text messages, the Forlorn Hope story, with a bit of tie down thrown in there as well. So, would you like to take the Theo and Todd story, or would you prefer the Becky and Lisa story?
You love both of these.
I do love them both. No, I'll let you pick. Lady's choice.
I'll do the first one then.
Gemma is going to tell us all the gory details about what's been going on under Corner Shop Flat. Over to you, Gemma.
Oh man, it's so confusing where we are with this, because like we said, we watched the episode after this So I'm kind of confuddled a bit about what's going on, but I'll do my best.
Well, the thing with this story is it's cyclical, and in a way it's kind of developing and get worse and worse each time, because you're just stuck in a loop of Todd doing something, Theo getting mad at him for it, Todd fighting back and saying, look, this is enough, I've had enough of you, sling your hook. Then Theo gets upset and has a bit of a cry. Then Todd says, fine, I'll take you back. And then rinse and repeat. But it's still not...
Well, hang on. Every time it happens, though, it's breaking down Todd a bit more. He's becoming less likely to fight back.
Yeah, and you can see in the meantime, because Theo is so prickly and you never know when the next spike of temper is going to happen, Todd's getting more and more withdrawn and panicking and worried, and how on earth is he going to react to this? Both actors are doing a really, really cracking job with it. I'm loving it. So yeah.
James Cartwright spoke about the scene where he was feeding Todd the kebab.
Did he? Have I seen?
No, it was with the Inside Soap Scoop podcast, right. And they said he said that he cried on the way home of doing that scene, because he said your brain knows it's not real, but your body doesn't. It holds on to all of the emotion, and so he didn't have anywhere to go with it, and he felt really bad because he had to do that to his colleague.
Yeah,
he had to physically grab him and it's all. I think that was probably worse to act than the two scenes we had today, which was the dinner scene and the milk scene.
It's kind of...
Because it was much more violent and personal.
Yeah, I mean...
Grabbing his face.
I know this isn't necessarily a rankable thing, but what's the worst thing that Theo's done so far? Is it getting worse and worse and worse? It doesn't need to get worse, does it? There just needs to be the odd random spike.
I think it's becoming more frequent, and Todd has no defence anymore.
Maybe that is. It's not getting worse, but it's getting more frequent.
Yeah.
Because we've had the milk incident, we've had the kebab incident, we had the sluts wiping his hand off the dinner table, smashing everything. Obviously, last week he was there jumping into bed with Pete, and some might say that that's the worst thing he's done. I don't know, but it's dangerous territory. Is the emotional abuse of Todd worse than the physical abuse of him?
it's the fact that now Todd has not got any, he's not got any fight back.
But he was fighting back on Wednesday, wasn't he?
But I'm not on Friday. And can we tell you?
Go.
So, Theo wants to take Todd somewhere to see this park, or go to Heaton Park maybe, because they've got a little zoo there. They've got little zoos everywhere in Manchester. Have you noticed that?
Yes.
But Gary's called him into work. So he goes to work and he's surprised to see Pete there, who was the guy he slept with last week, isn't it?
Yeah.
Who looks like
Ronan Keating.
Although
he doesn't, but both of us independently of each other said, he reminds me of Ronan Keating.
It looks like Ronan Keating in everyone's minds.
It depends which era you're thinking of, really, isn't it?
I don't think
if you're kind of looking at mid-90s Ronan Keating.
Which band was he in?
Boyzone.
Okay. What's the other one? Boys Aloud? No, what's it called?
Westlife is the other one, isn't it?
Right.
Does anyone else think that? I don't know.
Well, he's very handsome.
Sorry, Gemma. He bats with the other side, so...
we don't know that. He could
both.
Exactly.
Just have a double-ended bat.
I don't know. I don't know about that. So Gary's agreed to do this job with Pete. So when he leaves them alone, Pete's still up for it. He's like, yeah, hey, we're back together again, the dream team. And Theo's like, hang on, no, this was a mistake. It can't happen again. And it's clear. I don't know. Do you think it's like Theo doesn't like him at all, and he only did it to make Todd feel bad? Because he's like, get away from me.
He was very much repulsed, wasn't he? But I think
is it internalized homophobia?
Well, I think it's triggering because he
just remembering him being an absolute arsehole.
He's most of the time he's absolutely fine with his now out sexuality, but I think that there's the odd moment where something happens that he knows isn't quite right, and he's being triggered back to those conversion classes or whatever that he went to, and he's like, no, this is wrong. This is and he's just feeling guilty about himself. It's funny that he's taken off his elastic band, because he's definitely, subconsciously twanging something, isn't he?
Do you think it's part of a bit of self-harm, what he did?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
It's all a bit pop psychology, isn't it? With me. Right, so, it's a mistake. It can't happen again. And Pete's like, hey, so, what's the problem? We had fun, didn't we? And Theo's like, no, I did not enjoy it. It was all a ruse. Gary...
Some of it also comes down to, and maybe this is something to chat about later, but how in control is Theo at the moment? Is he 100% know exactly what he's doing every time? How much of it is total manipulation, and how much innocent person is there in there? Because when you have the scenes of him...
mean not ignorant rather than innocent? Like innocent as in, not innocent as in not guilty.
No, sorry. Maybe innocent wasn't the right word. But when he...
Unaware.
Yeah, oblivious to what he's doing. How much is this, him on autopilot, because this is just what he does. And, he'll often shed tears over his behaviour. And are those all crocodile tears? I don't think they are. But then also you get like the final seconds of today's episode after he'd poured the milk over Todd, and he's gloating, he's grinning there. And is that a gloat of, haha, I've got him, there's no way that he's going to leave me now. I'm winning because I'm I'm such an evil genius. Or is it just...
I think he's thinking...
a reaction to what's happening at the time?
No, I think he's thinking, well, I got him back for what he did to me. Yeah.
And if it's just kind of petty revenge that he's going for there... Yeah. I don't know.
I think he just thinks, you've hurt me, so I hurt you back.
Yeah.
And if it's... You didn't do it on purpose, so what? It still hurt the same way.
Sometimes he's clearly plotting, but other times it is a bit tit for tat. And he's stronger and more powerful than Todd, isn't he?
They did a good job casting him because he is physically domineering compared to Todd.
And he has lost so much over the year, and a lot of it is his fault. He's lost his wife, he's lost his kids pretty much. His job situation is looking pretty dire at the moment, and I think he's used to having all this control and all this power, and now he hasn't got it because all of that's the field where he used to have it's all being taken away from him. So it's now the only place that he's got that he thinks that he can be domineering is over Todd.
Do you think that that's why then? Do you think that he wasn't like this with Danielle? Because I think there was elements of abuse with Danielle. I just don't think that she really realised it either.
I don't know, because he's obviously had abusive relationships in the past, because he was dating what's-his-face from Canal Street, wasn't he?
Owen.
And being very abusive towards him.
Do you think... Okay, so here's... I don't know this. Are some people only abusive to one gender? Is he only abusive in same-sex relationships, or what?
And is it something to do... Is it still a hangover from this little voice inside of him that's probably still there? This little homophobic Jimmy Cricket saying, that's wrong, that's not the right thing to do,
I think the real Jimmy Cricket was probably homophobic, to be honest with you. He was an old Disney character.
He was in the 40s, wasn't he? Yeah,
probably a bit racist as well.
He probably was.
Sorry, Disney fans. Any Jiminy Cricket people out there?
Well, yeah.
We're going to have the fan base come right down on us. I hope they don't find the reviews.
Oh,
right.
Pinocchio wasn't racist, was he?
No, but I bet that Cricket was.
I didn't hear any anti-Italian slurs against old man Geppetto in it.
Wow, look, there's all kinds of racism.
He
wasn't even a human being.
I think that they've done a good job, and I'm, saying it at last, with making Theo a quite deep character, and he's not just, I'm an evil manipulator. And neither was Jeff. He had layers as well, but they were different. I think this is very, very pleasantly different to the Yasmin story, while still treading the same sort of path.
He's
not a black and white villain.
Well, it's a good job Jiminy Cricket wouldn't like that. I think that he's a lot more nuanced and layered than Jeff.
Do you?
Jeff was a bit cartoonish, wasn't he? I mean, there was that whole episode where
Mr. Bombastic.
Well, he was an entertainer and he was larger than life. Whereas I think that Theo feels more of a realistic person. I'm not criticising either storyline. It's just a completely different approach.
I don't think that Jeff wasn't realistic. I think the other side to it.
I didn't say he wasn't realistic. I said that Theo felt more.
I didn't find anything particularly unrealistic about Jeff. It was just that his non-abusive side was a bit of a entertainer, whereas Theo's non-abusive side is a masculine buildery chap.
It felt more theatrical.
Yeah,
but that quite literally.
But that doesn't mean it's unrealistic, because some people are like that.
All right.
I say. Anyway, sorry. That's just a bit of a.
I also think that Jeff is a bit more imaginative, because I can't imagine Theo making Todd eat his own chicken.
Well, I'd just wait and see.
Well, what would the equivalent of that be?
I can't at the moment. I don't know. Jeff definitely
was creative
and had these plots, and he was, talking of long game, had things set up for Yasmin that played out over a series of weeks. But I don't know whether we're getting that completely with Theo yet, and there's nothing particularly wrong with that. Although maybe his long game is distancing Billy from Theo, but that's not particularly creative, is it? That's just something that goes on in these types of relationships. I think he's more reactive. He just loses it, doesn't he? He loses his temper and does something horrible.
Yeah.
So, what are you going to say?
I don't know. So Theo is like, yeah, I don't want to do anything with you again. And Gary's come down from where he was, and they're arguing at this point, properly fighting it with each other. And Pete...
Oh, yeah, because Gary went up to the loo, didn't he? And we were like, is there a toilet up there?
There's a bucket upstairs.
I don't think there's a toilet upstairs in the builder's yard.
There is a bucket, and it gets thrown onto Seb's garden, which I think is disrespectful. So...
That's what we did, metaphorically, in the bonus podcast this week, when we said that Seb's garden desperately needs a refresh.
I don't think it was me. Right, so Pete eventually storms off, going, I'm not working with you, you've got a temper. Because he does, he really attacks him. And it reminded me of the same thing that he's done with Todd before, where if somebody comes on, a man comes onto him and he panics. So, he gets in his car and speeds off, and Gary's like... Oh, there's a nice tracking shot where Gary's following Theo down the street.
I thought that was very... I like a good tracking shot. That worked well. And not as good as the Kevin one where he fell over, of course, but you can't have everything.
You can't have everything.
Just imagine if Theo had face planted at the end of that scene.
His hair would have bounced him back, but luckily he did get it cut on Friday, didn't he?
He had, yeah.
Because it was getting very horizontal. It was beautiful hair. So he doesn't want to talk about it. He tells Gary that Pete made a pass at him. Todd gets home from work at the end of the day, and Theo says this Pete thing isn't happening. He's pulled the plug on it. And Todd's like, oh, let's go on that drive, relax. And Theo's like, no, I'm not in that mood.
Yeah,
At this point, surely the goats have gone to bed.
The goats in the park.
Yeah, it's late. You can't be going poking goats at night. That's a crime.
Have you ever been to the Heaton Park Zoo? I'm thinking of the Long Park. Because there's a petting zoo there, isn't there? Longdown Dairy Farm. That's around here. Longford Park in Manchester. Right. That's got a nice goat enclosure.
Yeah, I love looking at animals in cages. Oh my God, what's wrong with me? Right, on Wednesday, Theo's got an email from Danielle's solicitor about the settlement. She wants quite a lot of money off him, but he says, don't worry, Todd, it'll be fine. And then, at this point, Todd got his car last week, didn't he? The end of last week, this new car.
Oh, yes, it was. It was Friday, wasn't it? I thought it was...
What is it called? Dacia blah,
Somebody's written some feedback to us this week to tell us all about this car. So more on that later. I can't remember off the top of my head. It
really looks like a product placement, but I just, like you said, cannot... What does it, like the abuser's choice?
It's just, if we're kind of going along the same track as Theo likes to feel powerful and manly and steamrolling over everybody that gets in his way, then buying a family car that's kind of big and chunky like this one.
Car? Well, I know what the definition of that is.
I know it's for Todd, but it makes me wonder whether did Theo kind of half buy it for himself as well.
I hate these massive cars.
I was thinking, I wonder if I would ever want to drive anything like that, because I've only ever driven tiny cars. I was very jealous of the screen in it. I know everybody's got a big screen in their cars these days, but I don't. I've got an LCD to one colour display in mine, but
You don't need a massive car. I don't understand why people buy them. You're just mowing down people in them. What do you want it for?
I wonder what the future...
So you don't want to sit next to the person who's in the passenger seat?
I do wonder what the future for this car is. Like, is it going to be, is someone going to get hit by it? Is Theo going to run Billy over with it? Is Theo going to get run over by it? Is it going to get blown up with or without Todd inside it? There's got to be something, right?
Well, they're really bigging this car up.
Yeah, they've made it quite the character of its own.
Yeah. It's my character. It's my character of the week.
I thought it was funny when Theo gets home in the end of today's episode. It's like, I didn't see the car parked outside. Like, yep, you don't see ever any cars parked outside on this street, Theo. Get used to it.
Yeah.
You only need the car. Your car road's only visible when it's needed.
Yeah.
Yeah. You must be new around these parts.
It's like a bathroom. You never see them unless there's something going on in there, and you don't want to know about it normally. You know how they put the product placement P, and they just put it there all the time.
Yeah.
So it used to be sometimes it wouldn't be there, but now it's just there the whole time.
That's because Sainsbury's is
there
all the time.
But do you not think? We're being upfront in saying it's product placement. Like, I think there should be a list somewhere of what it is that's in the show.
That would be quite interesting. That seems like a bit of a fan
blog idea,
isn't it?
It's not very transparent, is it, at all? What they're getting paid to promote, and I think. Do
you think
it
should be interesting from a? Would it be? Is it like so that we don't not feeling like we're being tricked, or is it just out of an interest point of view?
No, I think it's important for transparency because if you're like a blogger and people don't follow this rule, and it really winds me up, and even some Corrie actors don't do this properly. If you get something for free, or you're being paid to promote it. Or you just, get it for... We have to say when we get something for free. You're supposed to say.
Yeah, you're supposed to declare it.
So if a blogger has more responsibility than a television programme, I find that a bit ridiculous. And I'm not just picking on Corrie here because it's the rules for everybody.
I just would find it quite interesting.
And nobody's publishing a rule going, Habitat paid us £3.50 to put this mug in the scene.
Talking about sponsors, Gemma, the word is, I don't know whether you've seen these, but we don't know this because we have our ITVX premium subscription. There's some new Connie and Trevor idents on Coronation Street this week, and they've changed the voices.
Oh, that's wrong.
I know. They've not got the same actors doing them, and apparently Connie's looking a little bit different as well. Apparently she's filled out a little bit.
Is there no end to the madness?
I know. Shocking stuff.
I'm disgusted. Right, so we move on with this storyline. So
we got both what happened?
Yeah.
So Wednesdays is all about...
Kids, like, people go and look at this expensive car, right?
Yeah.
And
Todd
we've got
keeps
money
getting
troubles.
told, wow, what an expensive car. Theo must really love you.
What is this car? We'll find out later.
Todd's feeling more and more guilty the more people tell him about it because he knows that things aren't going brilliantly.
I'm so glad I don't care
employment
about cars.
stakes for Theo.
It would be so expensive if I cared about cars.
It would.
Right, so Todd asks George for a salary increase and he's like, no, you can't be doing that badly because you've got a massive car. Then later on, Todd's on the phone trying to sell the car.
No discussion about that. It's
true.
I'm
just leaving a gap so you can
say something. I mean, he's too busy. Is Christina doing this job for free, out of the goodness of her heart, or is she on the payroll now?
You said earlier she wasn't getting paid. Very authoritatively, in fact.
I don't know what I say half the time.
So Maria's asking what's going on between Theo and Pete because Theo got really angry. And she's like, this affects the business because Gary's worried now it's going to all go down the pan.
Yeah, this is Todd finding out, isn't it?
So Todd's like, hang on. Well, the reason, he goes and tells Gary, the reason why Theo's mad is because they slept with each other.
Yeah.
And obviously. They need to stay away from each other. So then Todd goes home, finds Theo, confronts him about Pete. And Todd's like, no. Todd's mad at him because Theo said he'd promised him everything, told him everything. And now I find this out, and Theo's like, just leave me alone. I don't want to be hassled by you. I'm getting really mad. And then somebody buzzes the intercom, and it's George.
There's a couple of confrontations that have to be quickly diffused because of an intercom buzz this week, aren't there? There was Sarah Louise.
Yes, they had. They have a doorbell, and the brand of it is him.
Yeah.
It's him. It's
Heim.
Home for Hims.
Heim. That's what posh people call it. I'm not Heim at the moment.
Right. So why have Todd and Theo got it then?
Very true.
So, yeah, George comes in and says, look, I'm really sorry. I have this restaurant voucher because he turned him down for his raise.
Yeah.
He's always asking George for a raise. This is what people do.
Yeah, this is how you get by in business. You got to give me more money. I can't do it at school because I'm at the top of
top of the pay ladder. Right, yeah, Theo's like, why do you think we need cheering up? And he asked Todd when George leaves, and Todd's like squirming because he didn't, he hasn't told Theo that he's worried about money.
Yeah,
because that would make Theo mad.
Yeah, Todd's been what's it called? He's been confiding in George a little bit, hasn't he, about how things aren't so great on the old money front.
How can Danielle ask for money when he hasn't got any? That's what I don't get, though.
Well, I think it's just like, she wants the house. She wants they're going to have some joint assets. Just
I know,
but
she doesn't get all of it, does she?
Well, that's what she wants.
Well, I'm not involved.
I think that Carl's been whispering in Danielle's ear, to be honest.
Keep trying to make me involved in people's lives.
That's soap, Gemma.
Is it?
Get used to it.
Right, so they're sitting together in silence, and Theo's like, what's going on? And Todd says, I asked for a salary review because you lost the contract at work. And Theo's like, don't go around telling everybody I'm a failure. And Todd says, no, I'm trying to support you. And then Theo starts crying and saying, I'm a failure.
So how much of this do you believe is performative? I think it's all
completely instinctive. I've said this before about Jeff. I think his brain works in a completely different way. And he reacts to things like everything's an attack. And he has to defend himself.
So they're not crocodile tears.
No, I think he's crying because he's mad.
He's got real pride, hasn't he? That's just getting knocked.
Toxic masculinity, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think it is. And he's not purposefully going out of his way to cry because he thinks it's manipulative of Todd.
I mean, some people might disagree with me.
Every little helps.
He is just a character.
Yeah, so... I truly believe that when he's saying, oh, I'm a loser, I'm the worst person in the world, I do think that he's thinking that at the moment. But
I also think he's aggressively demanding attention from Todd.
Yeah, he is.
By doing this. Like,
I'm
the worst person in the world. I'm the worst person in the world. So that Todd has to go, no, you're not. You're great. I love you. Because he desperately needs... reassurance, but he hasn't got a healthy way of asking.
Yeah, he does, because he's made a big life change this year, and he's now openly following this life that he has been told all these years is wrong. And so he kind of needs reassurance that everything's okay and that he's right, that he's fine.
Right, so Theo's saying I'm a loser, about everything, and Todd says, you should have told me. I should have told you that I was going to ask for a pay rise. I'm sorry that I didn't tell you about this. We won't have any more secrets from each other, and we're all good, right? Yes.
Do you think silly, in a healthy relationship, should Todd have said?
It's none of it. It's silly. It's silly to
I think there's nothing wrong with telling your partner that you've asked for a pay rise, but there's equally nothing wrong. No, there's nothing wrong with not telling them if they didn't get it.
No, it's not underhanded at all. I don't think.
I don't Theo is just like super sensitive, and I don't think he's consciously looking out for things to jump on, but he's in a very, very delicate position, and Todd's bearing the brunt of it.
Theo's got constantly in his head a scoreboard of who's winning in this relationship, is what I think. And so he is constantly on the lookout for something that Todd's gone wrong that he can put away and put it in his little memory bank and bring it up.
Yeah, he definitely remembers things. And
it is like it's a who's gonna win this. I'm the saddest one, so that's a point for me. And Todd went behind my back and made me feel like even worse, so that's another point for me.
Yeah, because he gets it out of his memory box today, doesn't he? When Todd then is secretive about the whole car thing, and Theo uses it as ammo. So
they give George this voucher back because you don't want charity. And then Gary finds Theo in the pub later and says, look, why didn't you tell me about what the heck was gone on with Pete? You sort yourself out, mate. And then Theo gets a bank message going he's into his overdraft.
Ooh, the next recipient of the bounty of the Weatherfield money tree.
Oh yeah, maybe he's going to win the lot. Actually,
have we had anyone recently that's had the money fairy visit them? I don't know if we have.
Everyone's got money troubles.
That's probably the only reason that Carl came to Weatherfield. Like I hear that if I go on a pilgrimage to the sacred land of Weatherfield with my money problems, then eventually someone's gonna, one of my relatives is gonna die, or I'm gonna win the lottery or a scratch card or something. But it's not going so well for him at the moment, is it?
It's like Five Goes West. It's like, I hear Weatherfield, the streets are lined with cheese. So Todd is, on Friday, looking for something in the flat when Theo comes in. And Theo's like, what are you looking for? And Todd's like, oh, I can't find my car keys, like all sheepishly. And Theo's like, why did you lose them? I only just bought you that car. I thought you liked it. Why haven't you... It's so manipulative. Like...
He kind of does it in a jokey way, doesn't he?
No, I don't know.
He is. It's just enough to keep him on his toes because by this point Todd's nerves are shot, and any little slight microaggression from Theo is going to have him kind of second guessing himself and thinking, oh, what do I say now?
Yeah.
And worried that he's going to slip up. And at this point, Theo is, I believe, playing him. But it's funny, isn't it? Because he'll have days...
He's been abusive.
He'll have days when he's absolutely vile to Todd, and then the next day, it's like nothing's happened.
Yeah, that's why it's...
And part of it is manipulative, and part of it maybe
depends what mood he's in.
Yeah, part of it is genuinely like, oh, I was just in a mood yesterday, let's have a cheer. Yeah, let's move on. And Todd doesn't know whether he's coming or going.
So Theo's really latches onto this idea that anything that happens with the car is because Todd is being ungrateful and throwing this gift back in his face.
Well, particularly because this purchase of this car has put him into his overdraft.
So he feels stupid now, probably, for buying this car when he can't afford it.
He must have known, though. I know that he was supposed to be having... Well, I know that he was supposed to be having this big deal with Pete or whoever at the builder's yard. But, was he counting his chickens before they were hatched here? Did he really think that this was going to solve all his problems? Because, if it's one thing you've learned from Carla is you can't do that. But, yeah, Carla at the factory is always one order away from annihilation at Underworld.
Right.
So is he buying... Has he bought the car as just a way of controlling Todd? Or did he just not think about it?
I think it's control. It's love bombing, isn't it?
Yeah.
So Todd's panicking, and then Theo's like, oh, I had the keys, you left them down the side of the sofa. So he's gone and taken them and waited and made Todd panic to sort of prove he's the one in charge.
Yeah.
And to make Todd feel stupid.
Right, he's got all the cards here.
So Sarah Lou and Todd are in the cafe together, and Todd's admitting everything's a bit up and down at the moment because Theo's business is on the ropes. And Billy's trying to phone him up, but he doesn't answer the phone. Do we find out what he wanted?
No, it's probably... Summer's probably just collapsed again, hasn't she? She's not done it for years, but I just found her on the floor. What do I do? She hasn't taken her insulin again.
Have you seen Summer's robots? I don't know where any of them are. I tried to look in the attic and I couldn't see anything.
They've gone to a better home on ITV Reloved. So, yeah, I don't know what Billy wants. I assume it's nothing. But it would be quite interesting if at the end of the episode, like the final shot of it had been Billy being held hostage something. Or on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. And who's doing it now? Is it Jeremy Clarkson?
I was going to give you half the money and you didn't answer the phone.
You did your phone a friend, but you didn't answer.
And then Theo gets even more angry.
Just imagine if Theo finds out that Billy was about to win a TV game show and had Todd picked up the phone, he would have got all this cash. He would have totally
Is it on Channel 4?
No.
I don't
Millionaire
know.
Is on 3.
So they could do a crossover.
They totally could. I don't know whether it's still on.
Use your bloody imagination, Coronation Street. What's all this nonsense with Emmerdale?
It's not like Coronation Street hasn't dabbled with the TV quiz show format before. Remember Top of the Tree?
Oh, God.
Yeah, that was classic.
Is Big Brother on ITV?
That's on 3 at the moment as well, yes.
Oh, my God. Can you imagine? Here's an idea. Send somebody in, but they've got to stay in character into civilian Big Brother.
That could be fun. There's a nice twist.
Send in Theo. See what happens. Right. So
it's funny because Theo here is clear. Sorry, Todd here is still desperately trying to push Billy out of his life. Billy, the last time we saw him here, Todd was on his doorstep, wasn't he? Saying, "Look, I think we should."
Yeah, leave me alone.
Billy's clearly not got the message, but Todd's desperately trying. It's similar to how Theo was in denial about his sexuality and trying to say no, I can't. It's similar here with Todd, isn't it? And it makes me wonder who's next. Is Theo gonna take against Sarah Louise, because she's also an ex of Todd's, and Theo's romantic past has shown, you can be with a man, you can be with a woman. One of them's not being honest. I wonder whether he's going to start to say, do you fancy Sarah? Do you even love me? I wouldn't be surprised if that isn't an accusation that gets hurled at Todd at some point, don't you think? And then because Sarah is taking time away from Todd. Sarah's being Todd's confidant, and people like Theo don't like their victims to have a confidant.
Well, that's what you do. You isolate somebody from their support network.
Yeah. So I think she's going to be the next on the chopping block.
So Todd's like, Billy's just annoying me. I'm just not talking to him at the moment. And they talk about the car, and he tells her that he feels guilty about having it at the moment, considering all the money troubles they're going through. So Gary and Theo have set up some other meeting with somebody else, but it doesn't look like they're coming.
No, I thought that was
Pete. No, it's not Pete. Oh. It's somebody else. And Gary's like, I think we've been blacklisted here. Because, Pete's gone and told everybody.
I'm glad you've told me that.
I think that's what happened. And Gary's like, anyway. Look, we're going to have to stop our business relationship. And Theo's like, I can't afford to lose work. And Gary's like, we can't not get any work with you around.
How on earth did Theo cope as a scaffolder before he had Gary to back him up?
Well, he wasn't. He was with Danielle.
Oh, yeah.
See, and it's all gone wrong since it was all Todd's fault. Right, so Theo is it's Todd showing off the car to Sarah, because she's like, show me the car that you're so guilty about. So he's showing it off to her, and then Billy's calling him again, and he ignores it. And then she gets a phone call from the school, because Harry's not very well. And so she decides to buy him a milkshake.
Do you think that, I think he's got a headache though, hasn't he? Milkshakes or cure headaches.
No, that gives you a brain freeze.
Yeah, it could do.
She's a terrible mother.
Yeah, I wonder whether Sarah is going to be Sarah seems like she's going to start putting two and two together, isn't she? And she'll see that Todd's ignoring Billy. She's going to be picking up on some of these hints.
Yeah.
She's either gonna be the one to rumble Theo, or she's going to get close to it.
You don't get to rumble somebody. You know what I mean? The person who's being abused quite often knows something not right. And Billy's already kind of... And George, but they both know something's not right. And Christina.
Yeah, Christina definitely does. She can't stand him.
No.
But it is also similar with the Yasmin story, because you had your characters there, like Kathy, for example, and Yas was able to see that was something not quite right. And Elaine, that's it. But they didn't do anything. And they wish that they had.
You can't do anything. There's nothing you can. You can only support.
There's a case of what if I'm wrong?
No, I don't. I think you can tell. I don't know. I don't think people are very often wrong about, unless they're being dramatic and abusive themselves.
It's narratively more satisfying if the victim is the one who finally takes the stand. Yes. Against the abuser, isn't it? Which is why the moment of Yasmin glassing Jeff was so cathartic.
Brilliant. But you can't... The person who's being abused will never... It's difficult. They don't generally tend to listen if you try to tell them what's happening. Because they're protective of the person who's abusing them. Otherwise, that's how it works. Mm-hmm. Not every case. It's just a very difficult situation. But there's not going to be a triumphant moment where Theo's unmasked as an abuser from a character who isn't Todd, and then everything is happy and over with, because it's going to be Todd that has to come to the realisation himself, because he won't leave Theo, especially if some people are calling him an abuser. Then Theo will start crying, and then Todd will be like, oh, you can't be horrible to Theo, look how sad he is. You know?
Yeah.
So
it makes me wonder, like, how much under Theo's spell will Todd be when this is at its deepest, darkest, most dramatic part? Because there's all these, rumours online. Is like how, like I said earlier, is Theo going to run Billy over with his car, for example? And people are saying, watch your back, Billy. You've got to be really careful around Theo. If Theo were to bump off Billy or something, would Todd be so bewitched by Theo that he would keep it a secret and not do anything Theo about it?
Killing Billy or somebody. Doesn't have to be Billy. But killing a character or hurting them and put them in a convenient coma for a few months. And then going, look, they did it, I was defending myself. And then them go, oh.
Yeah, and Todd being, so far gone that he doesn't do anything about it.
Well, it's not about being... Okay, right. So...
it is, because Theo's been chipping away at him.
Todd offers to drive Sarah to go and get her boring child who's sick from school.
Well, I think that they made a bit of a mistake, because the child that they bring back doesn't look anything like the Harry that I know. So
what about this one?
This is a young 10-year-old-ish boy. He'll do. Yes, we have finally got the newly recast Harry. I didn't check the actor name, actually. I don't know who's playing him, but Carter J, who is no longer playing Harry after, 6 appearances or so,
More than we've been in.
More than we've been in Coronation Street. But yeah, Harry had to be recast because the old new Harry is now living it up on Matilda the musical, isn't he? I think in the West End.
Playing the chocolate cake.
Good for him.
Excellent work.
So we've got a new Harry. He looks a bit like him.
Right, so he spilled milkshake all over the car, so he can go back to the orphanage. The actor orphanage, wherever they got him from, and they get another one next week.
Yeah, they just keep swapping them out until they find the perfect child.
Why not at this point, honestly? You might as well. Just knock yourself out.
It's bad, isn't it? There's never been a character that's been cast for such a short amount of time.
Do what they're doing with Christina, just don't even pay her. You're just on a trial period.
Yeah.
Sorry, you spilled milkshake. You're out.
Yeah, he spills it all over the back of the car, doesn't he?
And so Todd's like, oh my God, I can't believe this. And
well, he's just terrified about what Theo's reaction's going to be.
It's very chilled, like, oh, it's fine, it was my fault anyway. Why would you... It's just a spilled, I'll pay for it to get cleaned. And so when Theo comes over, he's like, oh no, don't worry about it. Oh, kids,
Forget about it.
Yeah, and he makes a joke and stuff. But when they get back home, Theo is furious, and he's like, oh, how dare you? This is the thing I got you. You don't care about it. You're trashing it. You're rejecting me. You're showing me up in front of Todd and in front of Sarah and Harry. Forcing me to play along with you being an idiot. And Todd's like, I'll clean it. It's okay. And Theo's like, no, you get it. You pay. You get it done professionally. So Todd goes. Oh my God, Todd goes and gets his car cleaned, and then he's like phoning Theo up, going, oh wow, look at this, so amazing. You know what? I'm going to look after this car really well now. I might get it cleaned all the time. And he's just yakking away, backing into like a piece of metal that scratches all down the side of his car.
That was, yeah.
Gets out and he's like, oh my God, I can't believe it.
That's on you, Todd. You weren't. I know it's a big. Does this happen worse in big cars? I thought with big fancy cars like that, you have a beeping. There should have been a like beep, beep, proximity beep, beep, sensor. That's what sensor.
He had a camera.
I know. This is what I do. I would like a fancy car with lots of bells and whistles. No. What's the best thing that we've got in our car? It's got a USB connector for my phone.
Our car doesn't even have electric windows on every window.
No, and it's certainly not got air conditioning. But anyway, the one thing that I am not jealous about my friends' fancy cars is the beeping beep, beep, when you're reversing into something, because that drives me insane.
I hate it. It's so silly.
Maybe it drives Todd insane as well, and he turned it off. Maybe he wasn't subscribed to that. Is that what happens with cars these days? You have to subscribe to all these features, and he hadn't paid for that.
I could tell you're about to not drive into something, but I'm not going to. You haven't paid $15.99 for avoidance technology.
And you can be the one to tell Theo about this as well.
Yeah, the more stuff in your car, the more it goes wrong, the more it costs to fix. I want an engine and wheels and all that normal stuff.
We don't necessarily see eye to eye on this, do we?
Want all the... Yeah, but we can't afford...
We can't afford
to fix the crap we've got. Seriously.
I just would like a few fancy
When we
things
bought
in
this
the
car, I was like, don't want air conditioning because you have to pay. I hate paying. This is what I hate paying for stuff I've already got. It's the most annoying thing in the world. I'm not paying for a car to top up whatever this stupid nonsense is that goes in it to make it cold. Open the window.
Yeah, but you tell yourself that in the summer holidays.
I do, and I'm like, I'm glad we didn't have to pay for this stupid car to be cold. No, I'm not doing it. I really get annoyed. You have to buy petrol and car tax and insurance. And
you think you should just buy a car
MOTs.
and it comes with a lifetime supply of petrol?
MOT's rubbish. Just let me decide when my car's broken down. I'll know when it's broken because it will stop working. Why do you have to test it every year? Government overreach is what it is. People snitching around and spying on me. Don't like it. Just give me, honestly.
That's why they got the cameras in the forecourts of the petrol stations, really, Gemma, isn't it?
For me. Just for me. No, if I could get away with, you know those little like buggies that nans and granddads have?
Yeah.
With like the plastic
like
cover.
The mobility scooters.
I want that. That's all I want, honestly. Get a team of like tiny dogs inside of it. I don't think we're
going to be making our trips up to Manchester on that anytime.
I don't trust technology. I don't like it in cars. What's the point?
You don't like technology in cars?
Why do you need
you
all
want,
of
you
this
want like
nonsense?
A Flintstones car?
Yeah. Yeah. Why do you... Look, you've made this car so heavy that it has to be driven around with a engine. And then you make me pay to fix it. Make it lighter. Give me a cardboard box.
Yeah, I do most of the driving in this family, don't I?
I drive myself where I want to go.
Gemma put petrol in her mum's car the other day.
I don't do that.
Was that like the second time in your life you've ever put petrol in a car?
By myself.
Was it yeah. You did have to send a petrol.
That's the second time I've done it by myself.
And
both times were emergencies because I look at the thing and go, oh yeah, this scam that they've got going on with cars, you got to put petrol in it all.
Yeah, I did receive a text, the worry text in the middle of the day saying, with a photograph of the two petrol pumps asking me, was it E5 or is it E10?
It said on the pump, old cars might not be able to use this petrol. So I was like, this is a pretty old car.
It was fine.
I've never had to drive to work. There's no point in me having a car, so I have never owned a car in my life. I still don't own a car.
No.
It's not because I don't want a car. It's not because I don't want to be able to put petrol in things and do whatever I want. But it's pointless, waste of money to have one.
If you had a car, you'd just be off buying ciders all day, wouldn't you?
Well, that's what I do already. You know, to have one for the road, jump in the car, loosen up a bit. You know.
Not true. It's a joke.
Come and arrest me. I don't care.
Come and breathalyse her.
Yeah, why not? Do it now. Okay, so...
what are we talking about? Todd packing into a metal cage on Noble Street.
Yeah, so he's wrecked the car on the phone to Theo, bragging about how great he's going to look after this car. And...
So Theo's like, what was that scraping sound? Nothing.
No, it was like Titanic, wasn't it?
It really was.
It was like the inevitable tragedy of the Titanic.
Yeah.
So George finds Theo in Victoria Gardens later because he's sad, and then George is like, look, I know you're at 10 for money, so I've got some bits bobs I need doing in my house. So why don't you just come and price it up and tell me if you can do it, cash in hand, you know? And Theo's like, yeah, okay. He's going to get mad about doing this as well, you know. He's going to be like, oh, you're treating me like a slave. I'm far more qualified than doing handyman odd jobs around. Like, George is laughing at me behind my back, making out that I need handouts and charity off him.
Yeah, he has already, a month or so ago when they moved out of the flat, tried to separate Todd from George, hasn't he? And he was annoyed whenever George was coming round, so maybe you're right.
Maybe Theo could come and look at our boiler.
Yeah, how much would you charge for that, Theo?
Cash in hand?
Yeah.
Right, so, that's another thing. I don't like central heating because you have to pay for it. If I could get away with just burning wood.
You could just live in a cave with an unlimited supply of wildebeest.
I want a stream
okay.
and a wood, and I'll watch these little house people on YouTube. You know, they live off-grid living and all that. I'm like, yes, that's right. Don't pay people. You can make your own electricity out of the sun.
Do you want the good life? Do you?
I want to be I want Penelope Keith's money in that program. But with the life of like chickens and whatever. Okay. But maybe someone comes and does that. Anyway, what was it talking
Todd
about?
scraped up the car. And then he goes to see
Todd's
Kevin.
like, oh, Kevin, help me, please. Like, well, he's like, oh, I'm really anxious about this. Can you please do this immediately? And Kev's like, it's not really that important. I'm going to have to get someone else to do it. And he's like, no, I really need it done today. I'm stressed out about it. So he's like, okay, I'll try. But, I don't know if you've noticed that Tyrone's in a wheelchair and my wife's been shagging around behind my back. So
and Brody, I haven't seen him for weeks.
Brody
and even
keeps
when he's here,
stealing cars. So if you want it, it depends on whether you want it to be here at all. It might solve him some problems, actually, if somebody
I wonder whether anyone's going to nick Todd's car. That could happen, couldn't it?
All crossovers. Then when would you put the text about that? Which storyline? So, at the pub, Gary's like, look, mate, here you go, Theo, have a pint. And then...
We only had an argument for a cliffhanger at the advert break.
It was just one of them bants, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Kev comes in and says, look, tell Todd that the car's ready tomorrow. And I'll have it looking good as new. Don't worry about that massive scratch down the side. And Theo's like, what? Yes. So Theo comes home to find Todd is cooking dinner. And he's like, where's your car? Where's your car, Todd? Where'd you put it? I didn't see it outside. And Todd's like, oh, I parked it down Tile Street because people were playing football. And I've made you chicken cacciatore. And here's some Maris Piper potato mash.
And pesto cabbage.
Great. Sounds delicious.
Do you think I'd like that? Because I'm not a massive cabbage fan, but I do like pesto.
You don't like vegetables.
No, but I do like pesto. Maybe we should try it.
I don't like pesto.
No, you don't.
I'm not a massive fan of hot pesto.
Well.
I don't mind it cold. Gross. So anyway, they sit down to dinner and Theo's like, look, how much butter is this mash got in it?
Clogging up my arteries.
So he's, again, on this.
Yeah. Todd, you big fatso.
And I loved it also because Theo went, this food is unhealthy, and then he starts gulping wine. That won't help. And he says, where did you say you parked it again? Is it not private down there? We should probably move it, right? Why did you park it there? And Todd's like, look, I'll go and move the car. And Theo's like, oh, I can do it. And Todd, like, eventually Theo says, Kevin told me to tell you the car will be ready tomorrow. And then Todd hangs his head saying, I was gonna tell you. And then Theo's like, brilliant. This is the moment I've been waiting for. I've been waiting for a fight with him, and now I've got my...
Yeah, I mean, this argument was clearly prepared for and rehearsed because of the way that he came in, acting innocently.
How can I get... I'm not going to come out and say that Kevin told me. I'm going to make him lie. I'm going to see if he lies so I can add to the scoreboard.
Yeah.
So he says, you're a liar, and he just he throws all the crockery and cutlery and the glass, glasses smashed, the food's gone everywhere.
Olives flying all over the place.
Todd's cowering in the kitchen in the corner. He's kind of like trying to clean up. And Theo's yelling at him like, you didn't look after the car, you're an idiot, you're stupid, I can't believe you've done this. And you told me that we should have no more secrets, and you're here lying about the car and going behind my back and telling people to keep secrets and things. And Todd's like, oh, I'm really sorry. And then Theo's like, no, you're terrible. And then Sarah buzzes on the intercom. And they go down to talk to her, and she's apologising again about the milkshake. And they're both kind of like looking at the
Well, it's mostly Todd, because Theo's very much in control of this situation, and he's just putting all the charms for Sarah Lou, isn't he?
He's trying to get rid of her.
He's trying to get rid of her, but in a charming way.
Because Todd doesn't want Sarah to come in and see this mess.
No, Todd's looking at the table, thinking if she comes in, what's he going to think?
But I think that Theo wouldn't really care, and I think that he would use it as a test. Like, well, he'd probably will Todd lie about why there's glass everywhere?
Yeah, Theo would have probably just said this. Oh, Todd, he just dropped the plates. You klutz, aren't you, Todd? Like clap around the back of the head or something.
This would be a test of a test of whether Theo's abuse has progressed to the point at which Todd is lying. He's already done it a little bit, but lying about this is glasses because it's my fault.
I think Theo was also, he was so smiley, I think he was also enjoying the fact that knowing that Todd was squirming, and Theo knows that he's going to switch straight back to his bad guy persona, and Todd knows this as well, but so he was having the best time of his life. But eventually Sarah goes, and then it does indeed continue.
And Theo decides he's hungry because he threw his food everywhere, so he gets some cereal ready, and Todd's
healthy cornflakes,
trying to placate him by agreeing with him, saying, yes, I am the village idiot. I should have told you about the car. I'm sorry I lied to you. Theo's just ignoring him, and Todd can't handle it. So he comes over and he says, look, can we just agree I'm a waste of space and move on? And Theo says, close your eyes. And Todd does, expecting he's going to get a kiss or a cuddle or something. And instead, Theo just pours the rest of the bottle of milk that he's got for his cereal all over Todd's head. And Todd just stands there.
Yeah, he's just totally passive during it, isn't he? He takes it.
If I fight back, what will happen? It'll be worse.
Yeah, he can't. Well, it's because he's been worn down so much through this abuse that he's just taking it. I mean, definitely the old Todd wouldn't have taken this. I think lots of people might say, I'd smack it out of his hand. Yeah. Exactly. But this shows what state he's in now. And I mean, sometimes he just has to take it because he wants it over, and he's learned that if he rolls over, then sometimes Theo's nice to him.
Yeah.
I think.
Well, in a normal healthy relationship, somebody would not pour milk on your head, but you also would not be scared to go, get off me. What the hell are you doing? He's afraid of him. Yeah,
he is. He's afraid of him. Yeah, and that's why he was keeping the secrets about the car as well, wasn't he?
Because he was scared. And Theo's manipulating him by making him feel guilty. Like, oh, it's she shouldn't have got it. He's put himself in jeopardy for getting me this car, and now I've ruined it, and now I feel guilty and I'm stupid because I wrecked it.
Yeah. Makes you wonder whether, when he bought the car, it was just the plan all along to use it to manipulate him. I think he thought
to himself, like, well, he can't mess up now. I've got him this car. Like, he's got to shape up because I'm the best. Again, this is a massive point on my side of the scoreboard here because I've bought him a car.
Yeah, it's a point in the relationship, but it also is a way of trying to prove to the neighbours that he's okay. He wants everybody to know.
Oh yeah, look at me, I'm a great boyfriend.
I'm a great boyfriend. I'm loaded. I'm rolling in it. Everything's great at the moment. It's his way of trying to keep that power that, as I say earlier, he's lost gradually over the year.
When I want to show the neighbours I'm successful and powerful, I'd buy my own car, which is why it hasn't happened yet.
You just put a load of pumpkins outside the front of the house, don't you?
That's how I show off.
Look at my gourds.
Check out these babies. This one is not edible.
Right. That was a long time talking about that story, but there's a lot to say. Even though it is kind of going around in circles a bit, it doesn't feel like it's spinning its wheels in the same way as some of the other ones do.
A lot of people, are telling us that this really rings true to their experiences, and it's really sad to know how many people have had this happen to them.
Yeah, it is, and there are stories that are more triggering for us or you particularly, and we don't find them. You don't find them entertaining, and you can say, how on earth could anybody enjoy this? But we all.
Well, sometimes when it really is personal, I get quite upset, and then I get kind of aggressive about how could anybody think this was something that should be put on TV for entertainment purposes. So I totally understand how people have that reaction. I'm not going to tell anybody they're wrong. No,
absolutely. I mean, some people would say, well, it's right to raise awareness of this, and some people would say, I don't want to raise awareness of it because it's triggering for me, but I can't help it. I'm definitely finding this story the most gripping at the moment.
We can't apologise for finding a piece of fiction to be, enthralling because it is supposed to be.
Yeah. Okay. Speaking of which, Becky, back from the dead, and all the drama on Monday there, which was just.
Were they in it Wednesday?
Yeah, it was Monday and Wednesday.
Friday they weren't.
No, there was no Swarla in today's episode. It starts off with Becky in the cell after she got arrested. Betsy, sorry, not Becky. Betsy's in the cell because she's got arrested for beating up Costello's car, apparently, and being a bit of a cow to him.
If only she was around when Todd needed an alibi for what happened to his car.
I know.
Her and Harry and Menace to cars.
So Lisa...
Actually, it was Costello, wasn't it? Probably.
It probably was. Lisa, back at home, is telling Becky, who is still there, that they're probably going to be charging Betsy for criminal damage and assault here. And Becky's like, no, it's fine. Don't worry about it. She's very blasé. And then she reveals this USB stick. Because probably back when she left England the last time, 4 years ago, USB sticks were a little bit more... Yeah. I remember, like, USB sticks. I thought that was the best thing since sliced bread. That was, like, the invention to end all inventions, wasn't it?
You'll never need anything else now. You've got a USB stick.
Yeah.
These babies can hold up to, some of them.
Some of them can have 500 meg on.
Crazy.
and
the funny thing is, they don't get bigger the more memories on them. Which is illogical, isn't it?
I know, but it's all cloud these days, isn't it? The USB drive was a monumental flash in the pan, but it was made such a difference. Because I used to just carry floppy disks around in my back pocket and sit on them and break them. Man. So when you had this little pen drive that could store quite a fair bit more, I thought it was amazing.
I remember when you used to have the what's the one before floppy? Those massive ones that were actually floppy.
Yeah, the 5.5 inches.
It's like, how many Word documents can you fit on this? Like 3, as long as they're not super long.
I don't think I ever had anything with a B drive.
Oh, I used to love those because you had to like turn a little switch, like make sure it doesn't escape, push it in.
Fellow millennials or older listening to this, you know what we're talking about. But anyway, what's on Becky's USB stick? Why, it is CCTV footage that's showing that Betsy is completely in the clear.
Who do you reckon this is? Do you reckon this might be somebody, or do you reckon it's just a goon? Is it Costello? They didn't say.
Well, it's a 6-foot bloke in a balaclava damaging the car.
They don't say whether it's, I don't
think they say later who it is.
It's not a black guy or a white guy, you can't tell.
No, he's got a hat on.
Of course, it's, if only we all wore hats, there would be no racism.
Anyway, so that's all fine. And because Lisa's there at the custody desk, isn't she, telling the sergeant there, what on earth, how could you bring my daughter in for this when there's clear evidence? Why couldn't you get this evidence for yourself? This is gross incompetence. And this is when Costello's lurking round the corner.
Genius lurk.
This is a take a shot every time that Costello's lurking at the moment. He's our new Gadass.
Love Costello.
Because we're not seeing enough Gadass these days, but whenever Costello's there, just round the corner.
So theatrical. He does a little like.
He does. How does he do?
He his chin goes up and he comes out like. Whoa.
Yes, it's me, Costello, Jerome Costello.
Is he an irredeemable villain alongside Becky, or what?
I think he will be. He's not coming out of this.
I want to keep him.
Is he? No, I don't need that. I'm not that enthralled by him.
I love him. I just want him to lurk and spy on everybody. I think him and Raphael,
I'll keep him for sure.
I think they're both judgmental.
Do you think?
I think they're both. I think Costello and Raphael, excellent lurking.
I can just imagine Raphael having a bit of a goss with Debbie at the end of the day.
I can imagine him
tell you what, I found a room 305 today. You'll never believe it.
Right.
Put the black light on in that Carl's room.
God.
Oh my gosh! You don't want to know. You don't want to know about your brother's black light antics, do you, Debbie? No, I won't tell you. Let me tell you. I think that's what we're. Yeah.
Something along those lines.
Something along those lines for sure. Right. Well, he's also quite tall, isn't he, Raphael? He'd be helping in his lurking skills, looking over people's shoulders and all that.
Costello's tall. They're both tall.
I know, you've got to be tall if you want to be a good lurker.
What do you want to know?
What do you want to know, says Costello. And so Lisa says, you arrested Betsy with flimsiest of evidences. I want to make a formal complaint about you. And he's like, I don't care. I know that it was Becky who got this evidence somehow, and you're not going to risk revealing that she's back from the dead, are you, by making a complaint about me? You can't win here.
Becky says that she just asked somebody in a shop for this.
Yes. But is there more to it than that? I don't know. Yes, actually, no, we do, don't we?
Go on, tell it.
I can't remember. I think I've forgotten about this. I'm more interested in what's going on the sofa.
Doesn't
No.
He goes, look.
There is something going on between Becky and Costello.
Yes, of course there is.
Clearly. But it was the whole thing about... Because he tells Lisa, look, you don't want Becky getting in trouble here because actually, when she was living in Spain, she was desperate to come home multiple occasions, and it was me that was the one that was stopping her coming back. So
I'm the bad guy.
I'm the bad guy here. If there's anyone who should be mad at, it's me. And that's the little conspiracy, isn't it? That Becky was plotting with him.
So it can't be this whole thing was set up to arrest Betsy to give Becky a way of making Lisa nice to her.
No, I don't think so. So
Costello set Betsy up to get back at Becky to get her to bugger off to Spain, and then Becky said, "I'm going to tell everybody that you were in on this unless you help me take Lisa and Betsy with me." And so he's like, "Okay then, I will give you the CCTV to give to Lisa to prove that it wasn't Betsy, and I'll tell her that you missed her and wanted to come back, and that's it, and then we're even."
That's too complicated.
Honestly, can I just say something about this storyline? This storyline reminds me of when you have a dream, and in the dream it makes sense and you don't question anything. But when you wake up, you're like, this doesn't make any sense at all. Why was I knitting a hamster? This is what this is like. It doesn't really make any sense at all. None of it makes any sense, and it's still not really clear about whether Becky is supposed to be on the run or hiding her identity.
I thought that when
so many holes in this.
When Costello was saying to Lisa, like, Becky was desperately trying to get home, in a way she probably was, because she does desperately want her family. However she's going to get it, she does want them back. But maybe then that does make sense if she wasn't bothered until, because she was
because Carla was there. Like she doesn't mind. She doesn't mind Lisa and Betsy being sad forever because she's dead. But as soon as they move on, she's like, hang on a minute.
So
that's what I would be like.
So are we saying then, was Becky partly responsible for her daughter's incarceration over last weekend?
Not sure.
Because that's a bit.
I'm not sure if it goes that far.
Mean.
I'm not sure if it goes that far.
No,
but I don't think she cares all that much.
Anyway, so Betsy and Lisa get home from the station later, and Becky.
Yeah, so Betsy's been released.
Yes, she's out. She's got away with it. She didn't do anything. Becky's grateful for
Lisa's grateful to
Becky.
Yep,
for getting the CCTV.
Swapped
my notes here say
out.
Becky's grateful for Betsy. I can't
all
do
the way
it.
Through the Todd and Theo, the names are all.
Yeah. You asked me, it wasn't on the recording last week, was it? I think it was off air. You were asking me, do I ever realise that I'm saying the wrong words when I'm teaching? And I was starting getting a bit sensitive about it. I think I sometimes do.
It's names you mostly swap, but I don't remember names, so we're both village idiots, aren't we?
Anyway, Lisa's very pleased. So Becky's reward is the bottle of the pinkest rosé I think anyone has ever seen. This is radioactive.
This was like hooch or something.
It was like I can't compare because I'm not a booze drinker, but it was not the colour of rosé whatsoever.
You've had some virgin daiquiris that colour.
Yeah, I don't know what they were thinking. What you can look at it and
in the props department was like, I don't know, what's rosé? Red, just red. Is it red wine with white wine in it?
It was distractingly.
Where did they get it from?
Terribly.
What was in there?
It wasn't just water with a bit of red food colouring in.
Somebody
I don't know. But
needed to use up a bottle of red food colouring.
It was not good.
It was remarkable.
Anyway, it was distractingly
quite literally remarkable.
Pink, that stuff. But anyway, Lisa says, yeah, thanks. I'll have this bottle of rosé.
Great.
Is it true that you tried to get in touch with me while I was in Spain? Of course, says Becky. I wish that I'd stood up to Costello, but I was just too scared. And Lisa is his little heart is set aflutter by this, and so says, look, okay, then we can stay longer. You can stay around there this evening. Meanwhile, you got Betsy going to the cafe for a coffee with Roy doing his spy gig, which Carla had given him before she went off to Ireland, and he's saying, look, how's things going with your aunt back? Are you spending much time with her? And she's very brief with her answers because she's still trying to keep it a bit of a secret.
So she doesn't know that Roy knows who this woman is? Or does she? Or are they both speaking in code to each other?
I don't know. I really don't remember anymore with that. I don't think it matters too much for the time being. So you got Becky pouring the rosé later, and this is when Costello phones her up and says, our plan is working, wahaha, basically. And she says, well, I'm going to stop at nothing to get my family back. So,
it's obvious that this Costello thing was a lie. She wasn't actually begging to come back. Yeah. She actually loves Spain.
So then you start to get Becky and Lisa having a bit of a cosy up on the sofa. And Becky's declaring that she wants to watch the end of Game of Thrones, which they started before she fake died. And
I think it's a punishment worse than death.
It's only going to be a disappointment, probably, isn't it?
I
didn't hate it at the end of Game of Thrones quite as much as everybody else seemed to. But...
Can I clarify? My hatred is not the way that the story went, because I think it was a logical place for it to go, even though I really like Daenerys. But I think they rushed it because they were being greedy buggers, and they should have...
They wanted to do Star Trek, didn't they?
And what happened there?
I would be surprised if I was really that much into Game of Thrones. I'd be watching it over in Spain.
I know, Becky. Do they not have television in Spain?
No. So I don't know what was. But anyway, I thought that was quite a nice
going
reference.
To live in another country and never learning the language at all.
It would have been quite funny if they'd had something in the script, a little jibe of the end of it, because it's kind of everyone agrees on this fact, don't they, that it didn't really end the way that people wanted to. But anyway...
It subverted our expectations.
Yes. Becky starts talking about, wish we could go back, wish we could change everything, wish I could stop this all from happening. And Lisa says, me too. And she's starting to... Her defences are being worn down a bit here, aren't they, by Becky's charms. And they're having a nice chat. And Becky's edging a bit closer. And then she strokes Lisa's face. And Lisa doesn't stop her. This is... They knew what they were doing when they did this scene, and they knew that there would be rage on the internet.
Vicky Myers is an excellent actress, and so Amy Cudden is doing a fantastic
job. Both do a very good job.
And you could just see Lisa, as Becky's there in front of her, like, this is what I've been dreaming of for 4 years.
Yeah.
And she just falls into her arms.
Why does Lisa do it? Is she not canny enough to realise? Because she goes to see Roy later and she says, Carla is the one I love.
But I don't know. It's like being married to somebody is such a powerful thing that, and she didn't break up with her.
No, I think it's pretty normal what Lisa's doing. I think it's a case of heart over head, and she hasn't stopped loving her, because Lisa, in the past 4 years, still thinks about Becky.
I don't see how you can blame Lisa for embracing her dead wife.
No, I don't. She hasn't
got any idea that Becky's a lying, conniving.
But the question is, she's not going to tell Carla when she gets back. Oh yeah, we had a bit of a cozy up on the sofa, but don't worry about it. She's not. It's because this is a soap. She's going to keep this quiet. And Becky is going to reveal. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if Becky didn't have a spy camera set up there somewhere.
Well, Roy knows this has happened. She doesn't need...
Yeah, because... Roy turns up, doesn't he?
Well, they're hugging each other, right? And before anything else happens, Betsy and Roy burst in.
Question is, would anything have happened had Roy not appeared with his... what was it he brings? A bit more carrot cake again,
lasagna.
Probably?
Why
there was a
have
lasagna.
They made... Lisa and Betsy's personality that they eat carrot cake?
I know, come on, let's have a variety. There's so many cakes out there to try. Don't lock yourself in and confine yourself to just one.
But do you really want to eat the same cake day after day after day?
Well, if I was going to, I wouldn't choose carrot cake. I would.
I quite like carrot cake. So I think there might be a conversation about this at some point. I think if I was Becky, I'd use this as to bring this up again,
Becky in front of Carla before has been saying, do you remember when we used to do this? Do you remember, this was a bit of an in-joke that we had? Remember the time when we X, Y and Z? So she's determined to get rid of Carla, which again, I will say, I don't blame her for wanting to get rid of Carla.
It's logical.
I would also, if I was Becky, want to get my family back.
It's a logical...
Carla is the enemy
motivation
here, from Becky's point of view. And just because she's the hero for the Coronation Street viewer, because we've been loving Carla on our screens for nigh on 20 years, it doesn't mean that I don't understand where Becky's coming from here.
Anyway.
Betsy
is weirdly oblivious to what's happened here.
Yeah, she's very oblivious.
She doesn't really notice, and Roy's there.
Roy's got his glasses. He's very observant.
I can see what's happened. Yeah. I'm not blind. I've got my glasses on.
So
this is why I got these. Everyone was saying, "Why has Roy got glasses now?" This is why.
So I think, how do you think Carla would/will react when she finds out about this?
Come straight home. I would.
Well, it depends whether she finds out about it online. Like,
if what was Roy's task?
Just to keep an eye on them. And Carla's,
if you're Roy,
Carla's surely going to be coming back soon.
Roy is very literal. Roy feels like the sort of person who would say, "Oh yeah, I walked in on them," when Carla asks, "What did you see?" rather than going, "Oh yeah, remember Carla told me to keep an eye on them. I better tell her right now."
But he doesn't like being a spy. It's not like he's going to go back and say, "Oh, Carla, you never guess what I saw today."
Don't accept the assignment then.
Well, he had the assignment forced upon him, didn't he? I think Carla was a little bit out of order asking him to spy on them.
Well, you've accepted it. Can't half-arse it because you don't agree with it.
I think that Carla would come straight home straight away, and I don't think that Lisa's got a leg to stand on, sadly, because we can sit there and say, it's a natural thing for her to do. She's still clearly, it's natural for her to have feelings for this woman. She was married to her. That's not going to wash with Carla, because as far as Carla's been on, it's not been. She's been emotionally cheated on, hasn't she?
As beautiful as Ireland is, and as great as the people that live there are,
we've never been.
There's nothing that would There's nothing in any country that would induce me to stay longer than necessary if my fiance had a dead wife living in my house.
It just depends
That would bring me back. I don't care. The wake's over and done with. Ryan, I'm going.
I think that Carla...
Michelle, see you later.
I think that Carla will be quite fuming at Lisa, but I don't think that she's the sort of person to give up that easily, because she knows what Becky's doing. She's had fights bigger than this before.
Becky's nothing compared to what she's been through.
Yeah.
Becky needs to step up a bit, actually. I'm sure she's going to be one of Carla's most fiercest adversaries, but at the moment Becky's got no idea who she's messing with.
No, she doesn't.
So I'm kind of excited about where this is going to go.
Yeah, I think Carla is
I know lots of, we've talked about before about Swarla and how important it is to people, and I totally understand that, but I think you're going to get to see a side of Lisa and Carla, especially Carla, that maybe you didn't know about. If you're a new Swarla fan and you've only been watching it for this story, I think you'll appreciate the fallout from this, because you're going to see a side to Carla that you probably have never seen.
Yeah, I hope.
And I don't know. I literally don't know. I'm not saying this because we know anything about where the story is going. I just know this character of Carla, and I know that she is not going to roll over.
No, and let some other person take her woman.
No.
But I think it's just because I am so completely 100% certain that Carla and Lisa are going to stay together, or I'm not particularly bothered by this. And I think if Lisa had gone to bed with Becky, I might be saying something a bit differently here. And I still would say to Lisa, it's understandable what you've done here, but I would still say you probably shouldn't have done it. Fess up. You should have pulled away soon. If she put her hand up to your face, you got to pick your side here, haven't you? So Lisa, it kind of breaks up there, doesn't it? Roy gets rushed up to by Lisa, who says, "Look, it was nothing. It was just a hug after a difficult day. Wouldn't want to do anything to hurt Carla." And so Roy goes off with his thoughts.
And then Becky starts working on Lisa again later.
Yes. Yeah, but
saying, it's so easy to forget. 4 years and it feels like it never happened.
Yeah, she says she knows that Lisa's with Carla now, so of course she would never try and pull her away from her. And she says, in fact, I'm planning on going back to Spain next week. Now that was a bad move on her part. Or does she say that? Because Betsy finds out, doesn't she? She overhears that her mum's planned to go back to Spain again. Does Becky say this knowing that Betsy's listening, because this is all part of her plan? I don't know, but whatever the reason, Betsy overhears it. not too happy to hear that Becky's going to be abandoning her once more, and then storms off again, which is a bit, See a lot of people storming off at the moment, and Betsy's one that is always doing it. Anyway, Becky chases Betsy out, and she says, "Look, I'm really sorry. I need to go to Spain, but there's nothing stopping you coming with me, eh? Could why not defer your course at college? We could have a great time there." So this has obviously been her plan all along, and she's her hand is forced. Well, yeah, she did, because she was lurking.
Along.
Well, she was lurking with Betsy with Costello, in the Ginnell last week.
This week it's her plan.
Last week it was her plan, but I don't know whether
Before now, she was going to try and stick around, I think. And now she's like...
No, she wasn't, because she was lurking in the Ginnell with Costello last week, saying, "I want to take them all back to Spain." Wasn't she?
What I'm saying is, Costello's the one forcing her to go back to Spain.
I think in an ideal world, Becky would still stay in Weatherfield.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
This wasn't her plan all along. Her plan all along was to come back and go, "Hey guys, leave that nasty skank and come with me." And they were going to go, "Yeah, we hate Carla, we love you, we were just waiting for you to come back from the dead." Mm-hmm. And now it's not worked like that. She's like, "Crap.
Yeah.
Well, if I can't get rid of Carla, then I'll get rid of, I'll take them away."
Mm-hmm. So then we have the lovely Lisa and Roy scene, and it's still kind of funny considering what role Lisa played in Roy's incarceration last year. That I think Vicky Myers has said that I wish that there had been an apology scene between Lisa to Roy, but there's no hard feelings there, and there's just a really lovely character-y, soft and gentle and lovely scene between the two of them, where Roy's saying, "Look, do you still love Becky?" And Lisa says, "Yes." And that line was a bit of a surprise that she actually said it, because although it makes sense, I wasn't expecting Lisa to actually come out with it and say that she loves Becky. And I think she probably surprised herself by saying it as well, don't you? That she's still in love with her. She's probably been thinking it slightly, but
she didn't say she was in love with her. She said she loved her. "I still love Becky."
Oh, okay.
Do you think there's a difference?
Yeah, I suppose there is a difference there. And she says, "Well, it's natural. She was my first proper girlfriend. We loved each other deeply then, but we used to have this horrendous rows. But still, I always thought we'd be together." She tries to ask Roy about how he would feel if Hayley came back, and Roy's like, "Well..."
Roy was like, "This is an arsehole question."
That's exactly, you took the word right out of his mouth there. Yeah. That's an arsehole question, says Roy. Yeah. But as you're asking, I would still love Hayley, as much as I always did. Yeah, if Becky came back to Roy, it'd be a different Becky, wouldn't it? And that would be amazing.
It'd be crazy.
Becky McDonald. Anyway, he says, "Look, you need to question, who do you love more?" And straight away, Lisa's like 100% Carla.
Yeah, she didn't even...
But being around Becky, she's going to get some feelings that she doesn't quite... aren't sitting right with her. So Roy says, "Well, maybe Becky should go back to Spain.
Send her back."
Because it's clear to Roy, from what little he's seen, that if she hangs around here, this is dangerous territory. And Carla's going to come back and find it, and you might end up with neither of them. What? I wonder whether if Carla did dump Lisa, would Lisa say, "Well, might as well go back with Becky again"? It's hard to know.
I think she might, out of duty to Betsy. It's time to try to build my family back.
Yeah.
But, you can't forget, all the way through this, we know that Becky, I think I know that Becky had more of a choice in this whole debacle of going off to Spain, and she did it out of convenience, and she wasn't actually sad and scared for her life. I don't believe that for a minute.
But I don't... She chose it in some way, but I still believe that she does and always did really love Lisa.
But they had a fight before she went off. Also, the other thing
about
it...
She's just really petty. Fine, I'm going off to Spain then.
Is that I think that the show is kind of forgetting that... I don't know. It feels like a dream, because if Lisa really does believe that Becky left them now, and she's convinced that she was dying to come back, and she really missed them, and she had to leave to save their lives, right? isn't it kind of a bit off that she's treating her like she's done something wrong? I don't believe a word she's saying. I think Becky's lying. But if you truly believe this story, you'd have to like acknowledge that you kind of, it is a bit of a toss-up who you're going to end up with. Because your wife's heroically tried to save your life and now you're rejecting her. So it feels a bit... And if she doesn't believe Becky, then why isn't she trying to find out what really happened?
Yeah, that's the main issue I have.
There's
still
holes
too many unanswered questions. It's not holes necessarily.
Well, unanswered questions. Like Lisa as a detective is really not seem to be interested in finding out the truth.
I can't believe that Mason and Matty and Logan haven't really been mentioned at all since any of this, have they?
They can answer some questions.
There's more that they know.
Carla went, didn't he? Carla went along and they went, Theo Wardley.
Yeah, so they know something that they know something that they shouldn't know.
They know more than just the name Theo Wardley.
Yeah, Theo Wardley was the woman who took the place of Becky in the coffin, basically. How do they know that?
Yes.
That's the main question here.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And it's not like it's, no one could ever know the answers to this. It's like, how long's a piece of string? No, that somebody knows something. And Lisa's been so weird with Costello as well.
I don't think we've talked about this before, but hasn't it been theorised somewhere that Becky was the one who ran over Tia, and her going and escape into Spain was a way of... hiding, being on the run.
But
so
why
she's
would
actually
Costello be involved in that. How did he fit in? Why is he got
to protect his officers? Maybe, well, he doesn't want to bring disgrace to the station.
That's silly.
Maybe, but
were
they doing something dodgy together? But Becky was under suspicion of corruption. Were she and Costello under corruption? They were doing something corrupt. They run into Tia Wardley. Costello says, right, the only way we're going to get out of this is for you to go off to Spain.
What an elaborately weird thing to think of, Costello.
So,
It's a weird, honestly, it's a weird and silly storyline.
I think I think they're going to be getting the polyfiller out and filling some of those holes.
I know, but the fact that they're like, shut up. You're ruining it by asking questions. That's what it feels like.
There's too many sides to this story.
It's the same as Lauren's storyline where she went missing and we were told, don't worry, it will all make sense, and it still doesn't really.
Parts of it 100% didn't make sense there. But this week wasn't about that. This week was about Becky and Lisa getting closer.
The thing is, it's frustrating to me because this is a completely fictional story. Any corners that have been painted, you paint yourself into, you had the paint. You know what I mean? You've made this story up. You could have made up anything. I can't understand why.
I think that they've got the answers.
Holes.
I think there are some bits that they make up as they go along. Why do you think that
this is the exception? I said Corrie is not very good at stories like this.
I'll give it.
I don't trust that there will be answers.
Right, look, we need to move on. We're spending forever on this. So you got Becky tries to lure Betsy away to Spain at the end of the episode by painting a picture of it's all sun lounges and sangrias, and Betsy's like, well, maybe. And by the end of the episode, she says, yeah, you know what? I'll do it. Let's go to Spain. Big hug. And
Becky's like,
maybe your mum would like to come as well. So this talking about Spain carries on Wednesday's episode, and Becky is clearly a little bit keen to ask Lisa to come along to this as well. And
Betsy's like, yeah, cool, let's get Carla to come too.
Yes, that's like, right, yeah.
No.
Yes, Betsy thinks somehow, and I don't know what she thinks the familial situation is going to be like there, that it's all going to be cool with the three of the three mums now and her all living in Spain together. I don't think it works like that, but I don't know. Betsy seems to think there's a solution. I'm not sure. So Lisa goes to the cafe and to see Roy and says, thank you for the advice you gave me yesterday. And then she hears that Betsy hasn't turned up for her shift at the factory. She gets a message from Sally. And it turns out that she and Becky have been going on a bit of a shopping spree, haven't they? And don't know where all this money is coming from particularly.
Well, this is the suspicious part of this, because what's Becky do in Spain for money? Is she lying about all this? Like, oh, I don't work, I've got a sun lounger and a balcony, and here's some clothes.
Well, yeah.
Or was she really backhand Becky, and has she absconded with loads and loads of money? Here's a question: say she and Costello were corrupt, right? Okay, this is my theory now. I think Costello's going to have a quite sympathetic reason for why he was taking money, like a sick wife or something, and Becky was just a greedy cow, and so he's going to be slightly less of a villain than Becky ends up being. So Becky's gone off with loads and loads of money. They both got loads of money, but he's spent it on something worthy, like, I don't know, paving the local playground for children.
Do you reckon?
Like in Braille. Blind children in Braille, so they can know they're at the playground.
Yeah.
And he's a hero, and he's like got the Weatherfield Good Samaritan's Award and everything. And Becky's just like, oh, I got it for the sangria.
I don't know.
Well, what do you think? And where's this money come from? Is she lying about this and she's got a credit card or something? Or is she... Where's the money?
She's being bankrolled from the...
Because she hasn't come back asking for this money. Her inheritance.
Well, watch this space with that. So Betsy decides to quit the factory because she's going to live in Spain, and apparently, and Becky says, "Look, don't just bide your time for the moment. It's not like we're dropping everything to go now. We need to
because Lisa's
take
mad.
Our time."
Lisa's like, "What the hell's going on? Why have you quit your job? Where's all this money come from? All these clothes?"
Anyway, that was basically it, wasn't it? It was kind of left... I was expecting this to appear on Friday, but it was left on a bit of a will. When are they going to Spain, and is Lisa going to suss before it's too late?
Yeah, Becky is trying to get Betsy to keep her mouth shut about this a bit more, and I wonder who she quit to.
Who she quit to?
Yeah, because Betsy's like, I quit my job. She works at the factory.
Yeah.
So who did she tell she quit to? Because if she told Sarah, it's perfectly possible Sarah's forgotten already. And if she's told Carla, why has Carla not come back?
Yeah.
Because if that happened, I'd be like, something's going on here. I'd phone Roy up. Roy would tell me he saw Lisa cuddling Becky, because he wouldn't not tell you.
No.
And I'd be on the next flight home.
Yeah. Do you think that there's any chance that they are going to go off to Spain, even for a bit? Like, are we going to have a temporary exit here?
There will be characters? I think there'll be some kind of like midnight struggle in a car.
Well, do you reckon?
Something like that.
You come with me, daughter. See, would Betsy go to Spain without Lisa or Carla? She's kind of thinking, oh yeah, we can all go as a family.
I don't know, but how many times has Corrie done this with a villain where they've just gone away inexplicably right at the very peak of their story and then come back like a month later? They do that all the time with villains.
Yeah.
So if Becky like is like, curses, I've been foiled again by the true love of Carla and Lisa, I'll have to abandon my plans and go back to Spain, and then she'll go there for a month and come back again. Maybe. Yeah. It's possible. I don't know why Corrie does it. I assume it's because the actor's like, can I just stop? Can I have, I need to go to the post office sometime.
Yeah. Right, let's plough on with this. We didn't spend half as long as that as we did on the Theo story, but we've got...
It was only 2 days.
Dev and Asha next, and Bernie, and I think the tone of the podcast may just go down to the now, because I just can't be dealing with this.
On Monday, Dev is in knots with Bernie about Asha finding out that people knew about her suicide attempt, and he's going online trying to find mental health websites to see what he should do when Asha comes home, and he's kind of like he's smothering her with love, isn't he? Because he's so worried and upset.
Yeah. And
he accidentally...
He needs to buy her a car.
Buy her a car.
That's how you love bomb someone, Dev. Come on.
He spills a drink, and she's just like, oh, I've got grade.
Yeah, he just wants. Me. Yeah, he wants. He's like, hey, Asha, let me help you out, and she just wants to be left alone.
So, in the cafe later, Gemma is telling Kit and Bernie that she wants to help her, and they're like, don't, because you could make this worse. And Kit also warns them that Naomi is dangerous, because Bernie and Kit are both kind of like, let's get revenge on Naomi to cure Asha of her sadness. And Kit's like, this woman is crazy. Like, she's got this history of aggressive behaviour. I would leave her alone if I was you.
Really, says Bernie.
Dev's upset in the pub later, and Glenda tells him Asha needs to know that she's loved and supported. She said, just be you. You're a good bloke, and I'm sure you're a good dad too. And he has a little cry. He goes home, and Asha's cooked. And I looked this up. This is a real recipe.
Oh yeah, you showed me a picture.
It was braised celeriac with orange and dill, and I was like, that sounds horrible.
Absolutely grim, that is.
But it's I don't know how to say it. It's Ottolenghi. It's a very famous chef that everyone loves, and I wanted to get his cookbook for ages, but I haven't because it's a bit expensive. And with recipes like this, I can see why. So she says, I wanted to apologise for earlier, and Dev says, look, there's no need. And then Asha guesses that Dev has told Bernie the secret.
I was kind of losing track of who Asha knew about it.
Everybody knows. Asha realises
at least
that
by
half
the end of this week, everybody knows.
And she's really upset and stressed, and she storms off. So on Wednesday, when Asha goes into the cafe, Nina fusses all over her, and of course this makes Asha feel worse because again somebody else knows that she didn't really want to, and Dev comes in and wants to talk to Asha, and she's like, no, I'm in a mood. Bernie and Gemma are plotting their silly plot.
What did you think of this? It was a little bit farcical for me. But that's Bernie to a T, isn't it?
But this was this felt like such a silly ending. It felt like and then they all went home for their tea sort of ending.
Well, it's not an end because Asha's still
it's to Naomi.
Oh, yeah.
So Naomi, Gemma and Bernie are in the cafe, and Bernie's like in disguise, like
She's got glasses on.
And a turtleneck. And Gemma, obviously, Naomi doesn't know who Gemma is, so she's, quite openly sitting there. And they have tricked Naomi to come in to meet with somebody who's a recruitment agent, and Naomi walks in and she gets a table waiting for this meeting, and Toya's there saying, the person you're meeting has just phoned up and said that she's in traffic, you've got to wait a bit longer. So Gemma goes over to Naomi to talk to her while Bernie secretly films in the background. Gemma's plan
to be annoying.
Is just to wind her up. So she's saying, I heard the career talk you did, and she sits down. Do you mind if I talk to you? And she's like, all right, fine, whatever. She doesn't really get a choice. And Toya is like, what's going on here? Then she looks over, sees Bernie's filming, and she goes over and asks her, what is going on here? And Bernie fills her in, like, we're going to make Naomi show her true colours on video. So Toya's like, this is bad news. She tries to call Dev, but he won't answer the phone because he's too busy telling Abby about Asha, which is what she doesn't obviously want to...
No, why was he doing it? I could understand maybe doing it if you haven't been told, but Asha has said nothing but stop telling people about my suicide attempt, and he's just doing it. Is it because...
He's like, Craig, shh, come here.
I know that he is going through a terrible time, and when that happens to you, you want to get things off your chest, and Dev's kind of crying out here for... I need support as well. I don't know what to do. I'm desperate, and I can't get that support unless you're fully informed of the situation. If you're aware of what happened, so I feel bad for him. But I think what's most important here really is not his feelings, as bad as he is feeling, but it's his daughter, and he should not tell anyone.
I totally agree with you. All I will say is that Asha's not the only person this affects, and she doesn't get to completely control how everyone reacts to it. That's the thing. I know it's really hard, but it's also the victims of a suicide are going to be a successful one. Are going to be people that are left behind.
Yeah,
and they often don't get support or recognition or help, and he's got real trauma too.
Yeah, I totally. And
I don't agree with what he's doing, but I'm just pointing out that you can't, as the person, as Asha, you can't. You
can't say this is how you need to feel and this is what you need to do.
You have to do exactly what I say.
Yeah.
Like, the most important thing is to do whatever it is to support Asha in her recovery, and I don't know that either of them are doing that at all in the best way.
Yeah.
I don't know what the best way is, but I don't think either of them are doing a very good job of it. and controlling what people say and do, it's hard. Asha's like, she wasn't calling for help. She was, you know, she didn't intend to wake up. It wasn't like, I just need help.
Yeah, it wasn't a cry for attention.
No, don't say that. It wasn't, because that's
No,
stigmatizes people.
No, I know,
but she was genuinely not thinking past what she was doing.
No.
So this wasn't going to ever be her problem, I guess. I don't know. It's really. I'm talking in a very matter-of-fact way about something that's incredibly emotional because, that's the only way I can do it. And I'm sorry if I'm insensitive in any way, but I don't know what else to say really. That's what I think about it. I think the thing about it is sometimes with these stories where they keep cropping up, it feels as though we said a lot about them already and how we feel about them and how our sympathies and how we empathise with people. And it feels like repeating yourself. But this was with Aidan's story years ago. So maybe people are listening who don't know what we said originally. So I don't want to I'm just saying, I don't want to come across as being unfeeling or not empathetic or sympathetic, but I don't want to keep saying the same thing because I do feel like it goes without saying.
Yeah, for sure.
Like anybody who's going through any of these storylines, like Todd and Theo's storyline, Asha's storyline, it's, you know, the sad fact of when your dead wife comes back from Spain, that one too. I really, we can't keep talking.
To a wheelchair as Tyrone is going through at the moment. That's another heavy
I just
one.
kind of trust that people who are listening, who sat through 2 hours of this, get where we're coming from, and we don't have to keep saying things as though you assume. I just hope people didn't assume the worst of everything.
Don't worry,
but I know some people do. But you can't help them, can you? So they're talking. So
this is when Dev leaves Abby in charge of the kebab shop as well,
because he finally answers the phone to Toya, who's telling him, you know, you better bloody get here. And yeah, he leaves Abby. Well, he doesn't leave Abby in charge. He just goes and she just steals the uniform because she's always wanted to be a Thunderbird.
Yeah, that wasn't us that noticed or that pointed that out online, was it?
But I
did think it. She did have a. What's a Thunderbird? Virgil? Is that one?
Oh yeah, Virgil.
Yeah, did have a look of him.
Did
maybe.
She? Right, and I've seen her
Usually
hands.
She's a bit more Lady Penelope, isn't she? With the pink outfit that she has and the blonde bob.
And her hands are real human hands if you look closely. So Gemma is chatting to Naomi.
Real human nails, real human manicure.
The most beautiful hands a Thunderbird has ever had.
Yes, a Sally Carmen-Deteen could be a hand model.
She could be. Right, so Gemma's kind of like just dropped the subtlety here and just starts calling her a scumbag, Naomi. And Naomi's like, do you know what? Sod off. Slaps her in the face.
I can't believe she said sod off on Coronation Street. Are we allowed to say that?
Apparently so.
This is what the woman in the car park that Debbie confronted today should have done when she was up there filming her, saying, yeah, just sod off, Abby.
Bernie steps in to defend Gemma, and Naomi's like, I'll take you both on. And by the time Kit walks in, there's a full fist fight going on.
It was quite a fun fight, but I thought that what's her face, Naomi snapping, came out of nowhere a bit. It's like, why would you do that?
We've been told this character is aggressive. We've seen her be aggressive, and she's obviously not a nice person.
She knew she was being
but
filmed.
The way that she reacted is like she's stupid.
Yeah.
Like you'd have to have a serious personality disorder or something wrong with you to ruin your career like this.
Yeah, I mean maybe she does, but it didn't feel like a genuine.
I don't see how you could. I don't see how you could have built your career like she has done. Well, okay, people are scumbags all the time and are very successful. I wish they had just shown her drinking or something, because I do think that it would have made sense if she was drunk.
Yeah, because that's how we were first introduced to her. She can't control her temper when she was drunk, but that wasn't the case here. Well, she was just really, really wound up by Gemma.
Yeah, your what's the word? Your judgment is completely impaired when you're drunk. If she had gone, sod it, this woman's not coming. This woman I'm having a meeting with is not coming. Forget the coffee. Bring me a cocktail, and I'll listen to this idiot ranting on, and then I'll bugger off home or something. Then she just got sloshed, it would have made a lot more sense. But it just feels like Coronation Street was going, this person's a villain, so therefore they do villainous things.
Yeah.
What do villains do? Oh, they punch the goodies. Really? Okay, that's what happened.
But I still say I did quite enjoy the cat fight that ensued.
Yeah,
Even
yeah.
if the beginnings
We've had a lot of fighting this year, haven't we?
We have had loads of fights this year, yeah.
So Naomi's like, these people have been stalking me, and Kit says, what, you're coming down the station? And Bernie's like, ha! And then Kit's like, you're coming too. So Dev's like, before you go, I must tell you something. And then we cut.
It did make sense, because he does this grand speech, doesn't he, about how this woman has destroyed his daughter's life, and I get that you would probably want to confront them.
This would be your fantasy if you were a parent like Dev, right, and somebody had done this to your daughter. You would fantasize about this moment. You would imagine it in the shower. You'd imagine it when you woke up in the morning. Like, I'm going to tell her exactly what she's done. That horrible scumbag in a suit. But unfortunately, somebody was videoing it. So Nina shows Asha this video, and then this accompanying speech from Dev.
And as we know about anything that is filmed and posted online on Coronation Street, these things have a tendency to go viral.
Yeah, immediately.
Everybody knows now.
Because
the whole internet knows that Asha tried to do it.
Well, not only did Dev say, you've abused and assaulted my daughter, he also says you made her try and take her life, which you would, I think, totally understandable from Dev here.
I think you would.
Like, how dare you?
I would also be
But
thinking,
of course, if you're Asha, I feel exactly sympathetic to her too, because she feels humiliated by this.
Well, once again,
and betrayed.
Something very private and personal to her has now made its way online.
Yep.
It's the undressing video all over again. Yeah.
Asha confronts Dev, and he's like, "Oh, so I didn't want this to go online."
I wonder, if this were to go truly viral, I mean, I assume that Asha's original Corey video has died down a little bit. But is there going to be a group of people online that say, "Hey, it's her"?
That would happen.
She's the girl from that other video, and now look what's happened to her.
Would be very pleased
and then that would start bringing that up again.
Out,
so yeah.
I wonder now if Dev can maybe sympathise a bit with Bernie and what she did crusading for Asha, because he's done the same thing here. But overstepped the mark.
Doesn't help them as a couple by the end of the episode, does it?
No, it doesn't help them. So
he's furious at Bernie because she kind of poked this bear so much, and she's the one that
Asha's
she's made
not
it a lot
talking
worse.
to him anymore. So Dev blames Bernie, and Kit tells them that Naomi's been charged with ABH.
But Bernie doing this is very, very much in character. And again, it was a bit like when she was catfishing Kel all those years ago, wasn't it?
Isn't it interesting?
She's not one to sit around and let other people solve the problems, especially ones that are causing grief for her family. She'll get up there and do things that are pretty silly decisions to an outsider, but do show her fierce loyalty.
Isn't it interesting that Kit is also somebody who's willing to take matters into his own hands to get justice when he thinks that both of them get carried away with doing stuff that is quite dodgy in the pursuit of punishing people, because they're very righteous, both of them, actually. Bernie more so, though. I think she's a bit more.
I think
Kit's just like an easy life for me, I think. So Asha's like not happy about any of this stuff, and she goes upstairs, and then she has to go at Bernie later again. Or is it Dev? No, Asha has to go at Bernie.
Yeah.
You made it worse. You can't handle this. Like, I can't be around you. I'm going. So she leaves, and Dev's like, you're going too. So Bernie leaves.
To Bernie, yeah.
And so Friday, she's with Gemma, moping about, because Gemma's like, we've got loads of space.
Just
roll under a bed.
Sad that this is months after they got married and they can't have anything close to a happy married life. They have to get straight into this mega drama.
It's just a few weeks after they got legally married.
Yeah, I know.
I know, but that's also significant. I was quite surprised that Dev even went through with it with Bernie, because he was mad at her when they actually got legally married.
Yeah.
And I was thinking to myself,
I don't think this is the end for Bernie and Dev.
No, I know, but I was thinking to myself, Dev, you married her. You knew that you had another chance to back out of this. You know what she's like.
But you can't help who you fall in love with, can you? He's got genuine affection for this woman.
You can help who you get legally married to, can't you?
Should you have got her to sign a prenup or something? Do you think?
Don't be crazy.
Yeah.
I don't think that would work. But you know what I mean? Like
Dev's kind-hearted guy, and
yeah.
I think he's a lover, isn't he? He's a lover, not a fighter. So
I know, but why? But you married a fighter.
Chalk and cheese, opposites attract.
I don't think you even get what I'm saying here. Like, he's co-signed her. He knows what she's like. He could have backed out. He's had so many chances. Why is he mad again? He's done the same thing that he's getting mad at Bernie for doing. They're both of them, though. You crack their heads together. Poor Asha. So, Bernie on Friday is with Gemma, and she's moping about. And Gemma's like, oh, it's the quad's birthday. I'm going to buy balloons.
I forgot we didn't actually see this party that they were prepping for. We didn't even see the quads, did we?
They were going to get balloons that said the number 6 because that's how old they were, but she was scared that one might get popped and then it would be 666.
Yeah.
I can't wait for their 9th birthday and then Kit would be like, hey, it's my number.
You ran. He's a bit of a lurch, isn't he, as well?
He would be good as lurch.
He would.
He's very tall. He's got a great
That hasn't been pointed out in the script for a while, has it?
No, remember...
Maybe Jacob was just like, guys...
Stop talking about it.
I'm a bit sensitive about it.
It's getting really old. Do you remember that lurch character they had at the Undertakers?
Yeah.
I'm just bringing him up.
I do remember him. 2 episode wonder he was.
Getting my trivia in. So she's just worrying about Dev and Asha. And Ardy has contacted Dev because he's seen the video. It's gone viral in India. Okay. He's mad and he's like, you know, I wish you told me about this. And he's like, oh God, now Ardy's mad about something else.
Not enough. Ardy's not mad enough to come home and try and help his sister out, though, is he?
No, forget it.
Yeah. He's having too much of a fun time on his banana boat.
He's like, Dad, it's really bumming me out when I'm trying to drink my cocktails on the beach. So, Benny and Dev still not happy with each other. Or, you know, Dev won't be nice to her. Glenda's buying a suspicious amount of tinned carrots, which makes me wonder what was in Betty's hot pot recipe. I think they've strayed somewhat from the formula.
Do you reckon?
Later on, Gemma's showing Bernie, look, Naomi's getting slated online, everyone hates her. And Bernie's like, I can't think about that, I'm worried about me and Dev, how are we going to get past this? Then Dev gets chatting to Cassie in the shop later, and she's going, oh, you know, listening to you. She's like, don't worry, everything will be all right. And because this is a soap, immediately... Next week, I'm sure there will be a clickbait going, Corrie viewers, guess, Dev's next affair partner.
I hadn't actually thought of that until about 30 seconds ago, but maybe.
Man and woman speak to each other when one of them is having marriage troubles. Immediately equals affair.
Yeah. So whose side are you on here? Do you think that Bernie was being too reckless with what she did?
The
Should
whole
she
plan
have stopped
is stupid,
and thought?
But it's one of these things where it's like, is it actually stupid within the parameters of the soap? I think even for Corrie that was a bit silly.
It was, but it was still. I still didn't look at that and go, "Oh, Bernie would never do that."
But it just seemed to me like if Naomi is on that much of a hair trigger, she would have done this to herself within a year. You didn't need to do anything because she's clearly mental.
Yeah. Maybe it was just an advice story, an issue story about the perils of vigilanteism.
We already had that with Bernie once. She hasn't learned. She needs to go on itv.com/advice.
Are you got any concerns about where this is looking for the Winter-Alahan clan, or are they going to be pretty much fine within weeks?
I really liked Bernie and Dev together, so I hope they can get...
I grew to love them. I was very, for a long time I wasn't sure about them, but I think... Again, they're pretty good now.
This story, I'm still not sure what the story is about.
No, nor do I. It feels like
because Asha's not even in it now. She's gone away. She's staying with somebody else.
Yeah, Is this just turned into a story about the state of Dev and Bernie's marriage, and will they get back together? Because I don't think lots of viewers love them so much that they care enough to get that invested in it. Because
I said before, one of my issues is that I can't see inside Asha's head, and so I can't.
Even less so now she's not in the program.
It feels like a missing part, a really important part. But if the story is not about Asha, but it's about how does a family and loved ones cope when somebody attempts suicide? That is quite a powerful angle. But throwing in a racist, psychotic career advisor who beats Bernie up because Gemma was annoying
it's just
her,
muddied things.
Feels like
much.
a real clanger to drop in the middle of something that could be quite emotional and powerful.
And like I think I said last week, I'd rather that we saw more with Asha and her friends and getting Summer and Amy and the gang involved in.
I don't know what.
It's just not.
I don't feel like I've learned anything new about how you feel when you are in Asha's position. I feel like I learned more about it from Aidan, and I don't think. But again, I'm not sure if that was the purpose of the story.
No. Right. Should we move on to happier things? The Boy George story, old Christina and Shuttleworth, because that was great.
They really saved it.
Yeah. What saved the week?
I think so.
They added to much needed levity in amongst the darkness of Theo and Todd and the weirdness of the Swarla and Becky drama.
It's not darkness that's a problem, really.
There was nothing in the slightest issues based around this. It was just a story of a couple getting close together and having a lovely snog at the end of the scenes, isn't it? Really,
these two are great.
They're so good, and George has
great actors as well.
Ever since Tony Maudsley has been in Coronation Street, I've not been able to quiet that little nagging voice in my head that's been going, the character's not that great, is he? And I know that Tony Maudsley was a real coup for Coronation Street, and I know that he's a quality and very talented comedic actor, but there's just been something about George for so much of the past, 5 years or so, where I've said, that he's just not quite clicking with me.
Oh, do you know?
He has 100% clicked now. This story is the making of George.
But can I just say this is like bad news for us here?
Why?
And because it proves the thesis that Corrie has postulated that a character needs a partner or a romantic interest to be interesting.
No, it doesn't necessarily mean all characters mean this, but sometimes pairing two people together with brilliant chemistry, which these actors do, can help spark something.
But maybe it also proves our point that you shouldn't just shove people together because you think that's the only way you can get a story out of them, because they did that with George and Eileen and it didn't work ever, really.
It's funny because the main reason, I guess, why these two got together was to facilitate the Jenny exit storyline. And had Sally Ann Matthews not decided she wanted to leave, they probably wouldn't have brought Christina back for this, and we'd have never had any of this. So I think we've got Sal deciding to leave Corrie to thank for this really great pairing that we're seeing blossoming.
But equally, would George and Eileen still be together if Sue Cleaver hadn't have left?
Yes, and the character would be just still a bit in the doldrums, being a bit pathetic and under the thumb and often very rarely seen, and just making stupid decisions like buying tiny chairs for Christmas.
It's so hard,
this
isn't
is
it?
This has so been the making him. The confidence that we're seeing from George now, which was never there when he was with Eileen, who was the much more dominant character. Although Christina's very dominant as well. There's just something about these two that work so brilliantly.
And it's like frustrating too, because it doesn't feel like there's anything that you can point to and go, this is why.
No, but Eileen is a bit of a sourpuss of a character, isn't she? And I think she stopped George from being the fun character that he clearly can be, because now he's paired up with a similarly fun woman. It's all able to come out.
Do you think that it's like Eileen there was nobody that you could have put Eileen with because of just how her character is?
Yeah, I don't know who would have worked for Eileen.
It's an interesting question, because
to be fair, I did quite like her with Pat.
Yeah, exactly. And none of these people are out slouches at acting. They're not. It's not a performance problem, and it's not a script as much as people love to say and blame the writers for everything. Because the same writers are writing the show as were then, it's a really great team of people who know what they're doing. But even with all that team, it just sometimes doesn't work. And the thing is, how long do you give it before you say it's not working? And what do you do? Like, it could have been very possible that you go, I'm going to have to get rid of George because George and Eileen aren't working. We're not going to get rid of Sue Cleaver because she's been in the show for a long time. She's like an icon of Coronation Street. Sorry, George, you're out.
Yeah.
Because if you're not with somebody, you're out.
I think with Eileen, when she was with Pat, Pat wasn't made out to be the fool, was he? Eileen wasn't wearing the trousers in that relationship. He was the one that was steering
Fooling
things,
her,
if you like. Yeah. And they were more on the same level intellectually, and he was, she was very deadpan and he was, and here with Eileen and George, it just felt like she was belittling him. But anyway, it's all great stuff. There's not a whole lot to unpick in this story, really. Basically, the story goes that George is found fast asleep in the Undertaker's office, snoring away, and that was some quality comedy snoring, wasn't it?
Whenever something like this happens, I always wonder, like, did they go, Tony, just go to the, have a break, we've recorded your snoring, we're just going to play it, or did they make him do it over and over again? Because that was like proper, I know I've wrecked my throat tomorrow, I'm going to commit to this because I'm an actor.
But it was also the sort of snoring that had any other character done it, would be like, oh, come on, nobody snores like this. But the fact that it's been well established that George has always had a problem with his snoring, it was like, I don't need to worry about that. I can just ignore it and enjoy the scene. So Christina's there trying to... So first she thinks he's dead, doesn't she?
Yeah.
That was a bit silly. But then there's a phone call and she can't hear him because of the volume of his nasal exhalations. And she's like, yeah, what? No. Puts the phone down and kind of thinks no more of it until later on in the episode when they go to the pub. Then he gets his phone call and he declares, oh my God, I've got a stiffy. But they must have used the same jokes because Todd's got one as well, haven't they?
Yeah.
But they made some good use of double entendres. I can't remember. It was something. He says something about how long I've kept it up. Was another line this year, wasn't it? They just had
so many great jokes.
And I imagine standing there, the stiffy in hand or something. It was just like, it's so puerile and obvious. And I don't want to belittle the Corrie writers by saying it's obvious, but it was very much panto. But it works so well because that's the sort of humour that works coming out of Tony Maudsley's mouth. But anyway, he finds out that he's got a funeral director's award, but oh no, he doesn't.
It's a lifetime achievement one.
Yeah. And then it turns out that he hasn't, because when Christina was on the phone to this person earlier, she was unbeknowingly turning it down because she can't hear what was going on. So he's lost his chance of a stiffy.
I tell you what, I hope this never happens for the Nobel Peace Prize.
Hope it never happens for the podcast awards.
Or Oscar or something. Sorry, I don't know what you're saying. We've won £1 million in the Omaze prize draw. No, I don't. I'm busy.
Well, there's always next year. Or was this his one and only chance of a stiffy?
I think once you've turned down a stiffy, you don't get offered it again.
Yeah, it's just rude, isn't it?
Well, it doesn't bear thinking about. We'll move on quickly.
So, George is just mega confused about what's gone on here, because it's not until midway through Wednesday's episode that Christina reveals that it was her doing that this award was then offered to someone else. But there's drama afoot because she gets evicted from her landlord, and he offers her, George does, a place at his house because they, why not? We're
this was before he finds out.
Yeah, we're getting on like a house on fire here, and she's like
annoyed too because she was going to stay there.
Yeah, throughout the week she's kind of worried that this new lot that are coming into the Rovers in a couple of weeks' time, according to today's script, are going to turf her out.
And make her unemployed.
Yeah, unemployed and homeless. Mm-hmm. And she kind of earmarked Todd's old bed, and Archie's like, not Archie, sorry.
I'll tell you what.
George is saying, sorry, Christina's needs got greater than yours. She got there first.
If Glenda wants a job that provides employment and somewhere to live, she should join the army.
Can you see Glenda in the... She'd be there entertaining the troops.
Yeah, she would be.
Wouldn't she?
I think she is... Because she's used to being on cruise ships, isn't it? It's like, I live here and I work here. What's the problem?
Yeah. Anyway, Todd is under suspicion. He's suspect number one in George's eyes for who turned down this Stiffy, because George thinks that he is mad because he turned down his pay rise. But eventually Christina's like, sorry, I can't take this anymore. It's not to do with Todd. It was me. I was the one that did it. I couldn't actually hear what they were saying because of your snoring. And
she also finds out that he's got, sleep apnea at this point, and she's still, but
everything's fine off. Because she says, I care about you really deeply. I feel that nobody's been looking out for you for a while. I'm really, really sorry. And George is like, I really care about you too.
No, he's not.
He did, and then they go in.
Pat feeling.
Yeah, he is. He goes in for a kiss, and Christina's like, "Are we allowed to kiss in a place like this?" And then they go for the classic dramatic. I'm going to tilt you over and give you a proper full-on Gone with the Wind snog.
But what does he say?
Oh yeah, he does. He says we haven't got a body in. Very inappropriate.
No, that's respectful. That is.
Just check first whether there's a body in.
In my head,
before he gives her his Stiffy.
I know you're not supposed to, I know this isn't what it's supposed to be like there, but in my head it's like a coroner's office at the back there, and they've got all these drawers with dead people in them.
No, I don't think that's how it works. Don't think that's how it works.
No, I don't think it is.
It's George was saying that the only reason he wants their Stiffy was to live up to Archie's legacy, and
Archie would never have a Stiffy.
Do you? I think he did. I think he had multiple Stiffies.
Do you reckon? He's legendary.
It's really hard. It must be tough for George because Archie, he was so well respected in the lore of Weatherfield undertakers, but he's also a really, really beloved character. And as much as I'm enjoying George at the moment, it is a bit of a fool's errand to try and emulate Archie's success the hearts of viewers. I think because Archie was so lovely.
No,
and I don't think that George could ever live up to Archie in my head. I really don't think so. I just absolutely loved him.
I think
utter icon of Corrie.
The actor Roy Hudd was beloved of this country as an entertainer.
Yeah.
But I think that it's pretty fair to say that Tony Maudsley has got an incredible career and is beloved.
Oh, he is. Maybe he just needs the right story.
But I'm saying to you that I do think that there are going to be people who are going to very much disagree with you. Archie was great, but he was never. He doesn't really feel like a character in the same way George is.
No,
I know that
he felt
was involved in a very big story with Audrey and
I think that was what really helped make him.
And his relationship with Blanche was also great. But George has been in it long enough. I feel like you're kind of not giving him credit.
It's a difficult one. I think that he came in and he burned hard and fast, did Archie, and he was just so lovely, and he was a very granddadly. And
it's funny because some actors come in and you can tell they've got this aura and confidence and charisma. But I think with Tony Maudsley, I think that being with Eileen, George, for so long kind of knocked a bit of that away, that shine, right? But I do think that being with Christina is going to return his patina.
I would hope so, but I would also be thinking, does George need a serious role in a big story in the same way as Archie did? Because that did help make him. I loved all his, the romance of Blanche that he had going on there, but I think it was backing Audrey when nobody else did that really helped make him.
I mean, yeah.
And he had his catchphrase, didn't he? We've always said that George should have had a catchphrase.
I know, but that makes him a kind of caricature.
I don't mind.
Okay,
I think if anyone's going to have a catchphrase, George, and it's too late now for him to acquire one. But if Archie was there measuring everyone up, I don't know what something else is that he could have done. But
I think the thing with Archie's involvement in the Richard Hillman story is it was actually super peripheral, and most people won't even remember that subplot. So at the time it was really important and it was really great. Him and Audrey, that was brilliant. But when you look back on that story, you don't necessarily remember. So saying, you need a massive story to make George important, that wasn't even a massive story really for Archie. It was a massive story he was on the very edge of.
But Audrey needed somebody there to
definitely
help her through.
So what I'm saying is, saying George needs a big story No, he needs to be on the edge of a big story.
But I don't
agree.
I've got a horrible feeling now that we're going to have a bit of a break for George and Christina, because this is what we've been building up to for the past couple of months. Let's put it to bed and let's revisit them again in Christmas time. I hope not. It's just they've struck such gold here with these two.
They're so bloody great.
Yeah, I can't sing their praises enough.
I was thinking about the awards this year. They can be Hello Love, right?
Yeah. They are definitely Hello Love nominees this year. And Todd and Theo.
I'm getting a bit down in the dumps about the awards this year. I am.
Are you? Why?
Yeah.
Our awards.
Yeah. I'm just not looking forward to it. I just think it's going to be a bit toxic this year. I do.
Some bits might have the potential of turning that way.
Well, I'll be damned is what I'll say when we get to the awards. But first of all, we're going to talk about that skank, what she's been up to. On Wednesday, both of them have not got jobs, have they?
Nope.
Carl's still struggling to find one. They've both found out that shagging around with the boss's wife and brother it's a surefire way to get yourself fired. Abby's like, look, we got to keep doing, but don't get a dodgy job, will you? Okay. And he's like, no, don't worry about it. I won't.
She's an upstanding moral citizen, is Abby. She's turned a corner.
So Abby's trying to get Carl a job at Prima Donna, and it doesn't work because he just says he doesn't have any vacancies. And then Jack comes home from lunch, and Kevin is just slobbered about on the sofa. And Jack's like, get up, stop moping about. And Kevin then decides that now's the time to open his post. And the letter's like, guess what, Kevin? Your life's getting worse. Because Abby wants a divorce. And he's like, no way. I'm not going to give her any money in this divorce. To feather her love nest. I tell you what, that is definitely what Debbie's done to her flat. That's a feathery nest.
Why are we not seeing any more of Debbie's flat?
Yeah.
Corey's determined not to show us. We go behind the scenes, we can't see the flat. We're carrying on watching the programme, we can't see the flat. This flat needs a deep dive.
Sue Devaney hasn't done a tour online, has she?
No, she has
bloody
not.
Needs to. She's so fantastic. I love her.
Debbie she'd do it in character. When we were last year's press day and Sue Devaney was in Chariot Square in character, welcoming us to the place.
I want to go back there.
Brilliant.
Don't you?
Yeah.
Do you ever think that some memories are like places you can actually visit one day? I do. Hook me up to a computer and I'll just live there.
Live at Chariot Square.
I would. Me and Debbie.
Hotel.
I'll be like, Debbie, you don't have any memory problems.
Oh,
and
yeah,
she'll go, I don't remember I don't know what you're talking about. And I'll go, exactly.
Right, come on, what's happened?
Kev finds Abby working in the kebab shop because of what we said earlier. That happens. Dev leaves there and she just starts carving up kebabs. Lays into her about the divorce demands and he goes, look, all the stuff I've done for you, looked after you, sheltered you, protected you, time and time again, now you want to take me to the cleaners? No way. And Jack's come as well and he's like, you should be ashamed, and also I would like the lunchtime special. You
don't help somebody through addiction problems just to hold it against them later on though, do you?
I would.
It's the risk you take, although Abby is 100% in the wrong here.
Well,
she's not the one that really wants the money, is she?
It's Carl. Carl's such a little dick, isn't he?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, Abby tells Carl about what's happened with Kevin, and she's like, I can't do this to him. I don't want any of this. I just want to, I leave him.
Me, you and Alpha in Germany.
Break up with him.
Happy life together.
And Carl's like, ruh-roh. On Friday.
Better get a job then at the hotel.
Carl has kind of managed to work it so Debbie's not mad at him anymore. I don't know how Carl has managed to wheedle her around.
I know,
but he's the only one she's got now because she's mad at Abby, she's mad at Kevin.
Well, no, but
Kevin's mad at her.
But even at the end of this episode, Debbie was saying, "Oh yeah, Abby is my friend." She says, "I'm not ready to forgive her yet."
I respect that though. But she's in touch with her emotions there because you can get super mad at somebody that you love, right? And I do think that's the test of a really strong relationship, that you can get super mad and tell somebody something and you forgive and move on.
Yeah, that's but strong. I think if Kevin, I mean, we have skipped ahead a little bit. If Kevin finds out that Debbie's given Carl a job at the hotel,
that's her brother. That's her brother. He's told Kevin, look, it'd be his fault because he's not helping Debbie out. If he had taken Debbie in and gone, I understand why you did what you did, like, let's, allies together. He's left her on her own. He knows that she's struggling.
This is just rubbing it in Kevin's face. I'm sorry.
I think that Kevin... I think the
Kevin's not helping
writing
himself
is really strong in a lot of these storylines this week, and maybe we don't agree with a lot of, like, I don't find this one as engaging as the other one, like with the Asha stuff. But I do think, at the moment, Corey's not getting credit for writing a lot of really strong characters who are all completely logical in what they're doing. Because in the past, I've been quite, critical of characters just doing stuff because it feels like the story says they have to. And I know you would probably say that about Abby having an affair in the first place.
Yes, for sure.
But do you not think that all of this drama is because of conflicts that are based logically in how
I do.
personalities work? Really good job.
Good
I think so. The only person who's acted crazy is Naomi, but we don't really know if that's normal.
Go on,
I mean, Kit said it so, but can you trust him? Right, so Friday, like I said, Debbie softened a bit on Carl, and he's helping her to check whether she's paid an invoice, and she hasn't done it. And she also forgets she's got a wedding book, because in comes Nick. He wants a table for 2 for Monday. How exciting.
If only we'd seen Monday's episode of Corrie, that we would know what that was about.
Taking Toya out for a lovely meal.
Well, did he say it was Toya?
Who was it? Julianne? Is it Sam? Right, so
Audrey.
She gives Carla a bit of a sad hug, and
don't take Sam out for a meal. He's such a simp.
He is a bit, isn't he?
That's of course it's a joke.
Dylan is offered a car stealing job by Carl, and he's like, no thanks. And it's written on a bit of paper and everything, and we get to see the paper, which is funny because normally it's just
Freshco's car park. That row of car parking bays that all the drama seems to happen by.
The one that you can rent the Airbnb opposite and spy on.
The one next to the posters with a spelling mistake on.
We didn't even put that online.
Come on, Coronation Street.
How do you spell cauldron?
Yes, how do you spell cauldron? Because
it's not with an
E. Not like that.
Bless you. Oh no, spell check doesn't work in photo.
Who signed that off?
In Photopea or Canva, apparently. No. I don't know what it was made in. Anyway, so Dylan's passed it down, gives the paper back, and Carl puts it in his pocket. And Abby comes over and goes, what are you up to? You better not be doing car stealing again. And he says, yeah, I am. And she says, well, you can't do that. And he says, well, get divorced and get the money then. And he goes off, I don't know, to do nefarious deeds in the toilet. And while she's left alone, Abby goes through the pocket, finds this note, sees the details, realises what it is, takes a photo of it, puts it back. Debbie, spying on her, comes over. This note is like the hottest. It's gone viral. Debbie comes along and sees this, makes a note of it herself and sneaks it back. Then we see Abby scoping out in the car park, finding the car, not sure if she should do it, on the phone. Debbie's spying on her, filming her.
No. So that scene ends with Abby looking at her picture of Alpha and Jack and going, oh no, I can't do it.
But you should do it for the kids.
Yeah. So we don't see Debbie spying Abby at all. We see Debbie spying
on someone.
The lookalike.
I think
and dress alike.
You can do any crime you want as long as you do it for the kids, and you have to have their picture on your phone wallpaper. Otherwise, that's evidence. So am I to think then that Debbie had the wrong person all along because of dementia? Is that what I'm supposed to think?
No, she just jumped to conclusions when she saw a blonde woman with a bob who just wasn't turning around at any point.
But she saw Abby though, her face, didn't she?
I don't remember now.
Anyway.
No, I don't know.
She goes to confront this woman who is dallying around a car.
It's not Abby.
And when she swivels her around, it's not Abby.
It's an angry lady.
Abby's angry too. So she goes back to the hotel and she sees the real Abby there and says, did your conscience kick in?
If I was Debbie though, to be fair, I probably would have checked and be like, have you been recast? Because I hear it's happening all the time around here. James, Harry, are you really Abby?
She's like, Abby! Sally, is that you? I didn't hear the news, I'm really sorry.
Oh, Abby just gave you a look when you said Abby not loudly then.
She's looking at me. I was expecting a bit like a Halloween fright, like Don't Look Now, where Donald Sutherland turns the person around and it's a scary monster in a red coat.
I don't know that film.
You do.
Okay.
We haven't seen it. There's no point saying it now because we know how it ends. So, Debbie's like telling her, I got your number, I knew that you were going to take the car and you ran away. Do you think that Carl really thinks that you're... she asked Carl, do you think Abby's worth all this? And Abby says to Carl, look, I was going to actually steal that car, but I decided not to because I didn't want to risk losing Alfie because I've already lost 2 kids. I don't even know who they are anymore. And Carl goes over to Abby and says, Debbie, and says...
3 kids, Gemma. Seb.
She didn't lose him, though. He lost himself by getting killed.
And he's coming back as a ghost every now and then, isn't he?
Sometimes he's around.
Are you ever truly lost if you're haunting your dead mum?
I mean, people coming back from the dead left, right, and centre.
You're dead and haunting your mum.
Yeah, your mum's not dead yet. Right, so...
It's all how Carl gets a job at the hotel, doesn't he?
Apologise. I don't know where I am now because you've... She says, help me. And then Carl says, guess what? I've got a job working here and I'm definitely not going to scam my sister who's vulnerable.
It doesn't take him long. He doesn't even wait till the next episode.
He's trying to log into her secret account.
I liked how that we know the chain of hotels. Was it Debutante Hotels, and Chariot Square is just one of them.
I love this. I love Debbie.
Debutante, yeah.
She can do what she wants.
Finally, we got what's going on with the Dobbs, which is nothing that exciting. It's kind of a story of 2 halves, really, isn't it? You got the Bethany stuff with Hope on Monday, which basically, it basically boils down to Hope thinking that she's, not good enough.
I'm laughing at the fake anime that they made up, not laughing at
Oki Shuki Tori.
Yeah, I'm not laughing at people who have issues with self-image because
Body
I do.
Image, yeah. So they're getting on the house on fire, which I quite like.
Ironic.
And it is ironic with Hope, isn't it? And Hope's getting a nasty messages, but she's also helping Bethany with the help of a few positive affirmations that she absolutely can wear her Oki Shiki Tori outfit.
What did we say Halloween. It was called? Throne.
Yeah, we did put that word. We can put the subtitles on, then stuck it into Google Translate, and I know that. Well, Tori means chicken, doesn't it?
I don't think it always.
Like Tori Kariagi.
Yeah.
It didn't mean anything. It's something.
It means like enthronement ceremony.
Yes, it was. That was it. Made up. It's not real. Gemma knows. She's an expert. Anyway,
not anymore.
Bethany's decided. Sorry, we're totally rambling over this. My eyes are like. At the moment,
yours.
I need to put my glasses
That's not what Bethany's saying.
My contact lenses are drier than.
Do you want me to just read this then?
No, it's fine. So Bethany decides she will dress up as an anime manga girl at the Halloween party.
Can I just say, unless this anime is a spooky, scary anime, you cannot dress up as it for Halloween. I don't know where this Americanism is coming in.
You always say that.
I'm sorry. Everybody rags on me because rags on Halloween here and goes, oh, it's American. I don't like it. It's American. Number 1, nothing wrong with being American. Number 2, it is not American. It's Celtic. There's loads of traditions all across these British Isles for celebrating spooky stuff and Halloween and stuff. So don't say that. But do not go for their silly tradition of dressing up as whatever you want for fancy dress one day a year, because it's not. Only scary things.
Okay. Got that.
I'm so mad about this.
Your annual.
This is one of my
only wear scary things costume rant.
Don't come to me wearing an anime outfit. That's cosplay. You can do that whenever you want.
Friday's adventures at number 9. We're going to kind of swerve this completely, and it's more about Tyrone and how difficult he's finding living in a wheelchair. And Cassie tries to ingratiate herself to him and Fizz by inviting them to the bistro for lunch, but she's making a bit awkward for him, isn't she? By
talking over him.
Yeah, fussing him and saying, watch out, there's a wheelchair coming through, and Tyrone's just embarrassed and doesn't want anyone looking at him, but Cassie's making this big show of, look what a great mum I am, by making sure that everything's perfectly accessible for my recently disabled son.
That you could make a joke of this and make light of it for some people, and you could definitely do it for people who've just hurt their leg or like broken their leg or whatever, because they know they're not going to be in this wheelchair. But when Cassie was making fun of it, light of it,
she wasn't making light of it.
She was, because she was like, "Oh, wheelchair coming through."
But I don't think she was like making light of it at all. She was literally saying, "Look, Tyrone, I'm looking after you. I'm trying to get myself back in your good books."
It's different for somebody who doesn't know if they're going to be in this wheelchair for the rest of their lives, which is what Tyrone is wondering.
Yeah, I know. But I still don't think that she was making light of it.
I wouldn't mind somebody going, look out the way and bring him a wheelchair in. Do you need help doing this? How's that? I wouldn't mind that if I knew there was an end point, right? But if I thought for the rest of my life I'm going to be, look out, here comes a wheelchair, let me cut your food into little bits for you, I'd actually... Your pizza. I'd be like Tyrone. Like, I can't deal with this. Yeah. This is too much for me. Do you see the difference?
Yeah,
between how you would react? And maybe Cassie wasn't doing it. Cassie was trying to jolly him along, right? But you can't jolly people along if they don't want to about something like this. It's not like he burnt his finger on the oven.
Yeah, and he's just feeling useless, really, isn't he?
Well, it makes it worse when
somebody pinches Fizz's bag and Ollie comes to the rescue.
Oh, Ollie.
Good old Ollie. And yeah,
what a mysterious stranger.
This is a bit. We were saying that the Todd and Theo story had elements of hypermasculinity in it and
toxic masculinity.
Yeah, but this does as well, doesn't it? Because Tyrone's thinking, well, my role in life is to look after my wife.
I thought this was so funny because I was like, Michael wouldn't care at all.
If somebody jumped up
you
and
wouldn't
took
be
Gemma's
emasculated
bag
by somebody helping me to do anything manly, would you?
No, I'd just be grateful to them.
You'd be like, here's some money. This is what I do for men that help my wife out. I give them money. Are you the boiler man or the plumber or the electrician? Which one are you?
Anyway, Tyrone's just telling Fizz he's really depressed because how useless he is at the moment. And Fizz says, stop worrying about it. It's your ego. You're in a wheelchair. Deal with it. Stop sulking.
But you see, Michael, you're an intellectual, right?
No, I'm not.
Who trades on your brain. So just like you could be in a wheelchair, it wouldn't make any difference, right? But Tyrone is very practical and manly. See?
Yeah, I know.
So he needs his body.
He needs his body for his job.
Rescue handbags and things.
Yes.
You wouldn't care.
Rescue handbag and
You'd
fix
be like,
cars.
great, I can sit down wherever I want.
Plug me into my switch and I'm
making light of this story,
chat.
But it is.
It's boring, isn't it?
No, it's going somewhere interesting. But yeah, it is.
Very slowly.
I'm sorry we're being
somewhere
silly.
Interesting. You also had that scene with Jake kind of trying to make the moves on Hope, who's 3 years his senior, and she's like, nah, not interested, and he's there. A bit nose put out of joint, isn't
She's still getting these horrible messages.
Are they from
I've seen
Jake?
Lots of people saying it might be Ruby because she's mad that Hope is the reason that Tyrone got run over because he was getting her trainers.
Oh yeah.
So who was it that was being rude to Hope? Just then? Who was
Jake.
Jake.
He wasn't being rude to her.
He was being rude about her because when he sat down.
Oh yeah, he went back to Gary,
like,
didn't he?
You know, and she's like, get lost. You, I don't care about you. And then he sits down with Gary, and Gary goes, look, lad, you know, she's twice your age or whatever. And
quite, but...
I know. And he says, well, she's up herself. I don't like her anyway. And this really reminds me of that adolescence program on Netflix.
Oh yes,
that little boy.
Yeah.
And that's an incel thing, isn't it? More toxic masculinity.
Yes.
Will we ever be free of the patriarchy?
Nope.
We're all enslaved to it.
What are we giving this week's Coronation Street? Because I feel like we've just talked about it for an incredibly long time.
Yeah.
My eyes are heavy. We haven't had dinner yet. And we still got news and feedback to do on the podcast. So I'm just going to get cut straight to the point and say that my character of the week this week is George Shuttleworth. He was brilliant. And I'm giving this week's Coronation Street 3.5 surprise stiffies out of 5.
I am... What did you give it? 3.5?
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good score. I'm going to give it 3.5 Glenda Glow-teenies. And my character of the week is Christina, because I love them.
She was great. Christina was fab. But with fair play, props and shout-outs to Todd and Theo as well, for just being nicely entertaining. And Debbie, of course, for existing.
Oh, God, I love them. Oh, my God. I'm so glad that there are characters I super adore.
Yeah. I wish there were more.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that there are some.
Can't all be like that.
Now, that's the end of Street Talk for a week. We're going now.